Morning, Raptor Freak. Alexiot's here. Friday morning, the Raptors beat Philadelphia last night and winning the season series 3-1 over the whole year. That is really, really great. This is what we were hoping we could accomplish yesterday during the preview. That we didn't want the split with Philadelphia because a 3-1 season win is a much more impressive thing to kind of have over them. And I'm so glad we took care of it. Lumpy Rex, let's go. Yes, my Winnipeg brother. Yes, let's go. It was really good and awesome how we did it last night. We took care of things kind of like what I was saying yesterday with, don't let Joel Embiid have too much too easy. We really frustrated him, made it hard for him to get stuff. He still had a good game. I mean, he had 30 points, 10 rebounds, and that was really good, but we limited him in different ways. And one of the cool things about last night was that, with James Harden, Joel Embiid out there, who was the best player on the court last night? Who was the most dominant player? The one that was wheeling and dealing, the one who was making sure that his team won last night, that was Pascal Siakam. And this is really interesting that he got another triple-double last night, like his second one in the last 10 days. Like, this is crazy. He's only got 3 officially in his career. We all know that Milwaukee game should count as one, but he now has 3 triple doubles after only having 1 in his whole entire career until now. And this may be foretelling the future, guys, for Pascal Siakam starting next year, that we may expect him to get triple doubles night in and night out on a regular basis for our team because he's able to do it. It's amazing. And I thought it was so funny that him and Scotty were fighting for that one rebound at that one point. And Pascal's like, I'm trying to get a triple double. And Scotty's just so aggressive. He grabbed it right from him. So good. But really interesting stuff about our attack last night. Like, sure, it was a figurehead of Pascal Siakam's just slicing and dicing. Oh my gosh, he was showing us a little bit of everything last night. The way he'd do those teardrops in the lane and just loft it right over guys and fall right in. All the different stuff he was doing last night was badass. But then we had Gary as a nice side compliment. He was hitting his shot last night, really helping carry the water at important times for different things. As far as like when we needed baskets at different times last night, he was there and he showed up getting 30 points himself. And then Precious, huge with 3-pointers last night. Like those 3-pointers by Precious, nobody could have predicted them at the beginning of the season because they weren't supposed to be that part of his game. He was not supposed to have a 3-point shot. And now all of a sudden he's bringing the ball down the court and in transition, pulling up and hitting threes like that. Yeah, the rest of the NBA is a little worried about what's happening with the 2 young Raptors right now because they both showing signs of dominance over the league in different ways, whether it's Scotty with his bullying and being able to go over top people by just putting his shoulder into them and just scoring over them, or Precious showing that he has way more offensive tricks than just being kind of a post guy or a rebounder, offensive rebounder. This guy can also shoot threes. This guy can also put the ball on the floor and go around people to the basket. In fact, Joel Embiid is a huge mismatch against Precious Achiuwa. And this is a big reason why Precious has shown two games since the last 2 games we played Philadelphia, Precious has dominated offensively. Like his scoring was really good in the last game in Philadelphia. And then last night, once again, 5 3-pointers. Joel doesn't want to come out there and guard him. And then when he does come out there, he can go right around him and do great stuff that way. So it's really awesome what we're seeing and just how much of a balanced, different attack from different players we got last night. Whether it's Pascal leading the way, Gary Trent Jr. with his spot shots. I really love the teardrops he was dropping in the lane. He wasn't just settling for his 3. He was super effective driving and dropping it in. And then Precious with those 3-pointers. And then we're not even talking about the rookie who had huge impactful winning plays also last night, Scotty Barnes. Fantastic work by him. So it's like a 4-prong attack. And we didn't even have Fred or OG last night. So Philadelphia's in trouble, y'all. They got nothing on us. And if we play them in the first round like it's looking like, us beating them last night made it more likely that we're going to play them because they're more in the 4th and we're more in the 5th because of this. We held them closer to us. It's kind of like we're pulling them closer to us. Hey, buddy, come stand next to us. Yeah, we like you. You come stand next to us. us. So we were like grabbing them. Yeah, we're going to beat you. And that means we're going to probably play you in the first round. And we like this. Yeah, we like this a lot. Oh my gosh. Tom Duke is here. He has fire coming out of his keyboard this morning and sunglasses because he feels so cool. I'm sure Tom Duke is sitting by the window in BC with a cup of tea, sipping it like Kermit would, sipping tea because he's feeling real good this morning. Tom Duke is. Oh, I know it is. Raptors win was awesome. Yes, Tom. Wasn't that a fun game to watch last night? I mean, listen, we didn't really crack open the syrup last night, but you know what? We got it done the right way. We kept a good margin at different points late in the game. We didn't let them get too crazy. They did have some success with the 3-point shots at times last night. It was a little scary at times, but for the most part, we contained them really well. No James Harden. Just like I said, this man's going to fade into the hedges just like Homer Simpson in that meme. That is James Harden once playoff time comes around, that he's going into hibernation and we don't know where he is. He's in his tree fort. He can just have fun in there playing games and looking at nudie magazines and throwing money at strippers in his tree fort. That's what's going to happen there. Oh, yeah. Tom Duke's saying, hope you're feeling better. Happy Friday. Let's go. Well, Tom, I did go get a test and I took it yesterday and I am positive. That's right, y'all. I'm COVID positive. I found out yesterday, but I'm going to take a second test with my home test. In a little while after I finish the stream, I'll take a second one and see if it comes up with the same results. But yeah, I got that dreaded pink line on there. It's like a pregnancy test. It's so weird how they are. You look at it and like, oh no, there's 2 lines. Oh no, I'm pregnant. Kind of stuff like that. But yeah, I have it confirmed. At least this morning when I got up, it wasn't a full body ache and serious headache like I had the last 2 days. Today was just really concentrated more on my shoulder blades. I'm feeling really bad body ache in my back and my shoulder blades right now. But otherwise, I feel all right, especially with a win like last night, baby, and then licking my chops about playing the worst team in the league tonight. Yeah, we got to preview that Rockets game today, too. So we got a lot to do right now. We got to react to last night, and then we're going to do all the regular preview stuff for the Houston game tonight. Oh, yeah. But thanks for worrying about me, Tom, and I'm going to battle this. I'm a strong young 46-year-old, and I'll be ready to beat this COVID, and I'll get through this, and I'll be a badass afterwards. I'll be stronger for it. Oh, yeah. Tom Duke's talking about 9:05 winning an OT to make it a huge day for the whole organization. Yes. Oh, my gosh. I was not able to watch that 9:05 game because I couldn't find it. I wasn't on their G League website. It was on NBA TV last night. I don't get NBA TV in that way. So, yeah, it was kind of score checking while I was watching the Philadelphia game, and I saw they had a huge lead on them in the first half. The 9:05 were rolling. They were winning like 73-40 or something. They were winning big, like by like 20 points. And then Capital City came back, and they actually had the lead by halftime. And then it was battling back and forth in the second half. Delano looking really good. Justin dominating with 29 points. Isaac Bonga really key defensive plays last night to help seal the win right at the end. Ashton Hagans, Kevon Harris, all of them playing big roles last night. And they did it. They went into overtime and they took care of business against Capital City Go-Go. Thank goodness, because it's one and done, baby. They lose that game last night and they were not going to play anymore. And there's no chance for a G League championship, but they got it done in overtime last night against Capital City. They're going to play their next game on Sunday, probably right around when we're playing the Knicks. So unfortunately, they'll be playing their second game. The Eastern Conference Finals of the G League will be on Sunday night in Mississauga once again, because the 905 earned home court advantage throughout the whole entire playoff. That if we get to the finals, then 2 of those 3 games will be played in Mississauga at the Food Center. So, yeah, awesome job by them last night. Kudos to the 905 taking care of business in their matchup last night in the playoffs. And, yeah, we'll see them on Sunday, the next game that they're playing in the Eastern Conference Finals of the G League playoffs. Great job by Justin. He was dominating in all kinds of different ways, playing some bully ball last night. And Delano, so fantastic to see these young rookies go out there and do something like this on that level, because we know it's going to translate to the next level, because we've seen it in the evidence of Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Chris Boucher. They've gone that way, and they will go the way. These guys that are doing it last night, they're going to do the same thing. Oh, my gosh. All right, we got a spammer. I am going to put you in timeout. I'm hiding you. Yeah, you out of here, Naked HD XYZ. I don't know what you're talking about there. All right, let's keep going. G saying Pascal is amazing. This is an understatement at this point. Like, listen, it's like he coming into the season, we knew he was going to be hurt. We didn't know how long he'd be out. We didn't know what was going to happen when he integrated back in. In fact, when he first came back after he was hurt at the beginning of the season, he didn't fit for a little while. He was having bad games. I can remember he had a 6-point game in one of the games at the beginning of the season, just getting back to his game. But boy, he hasn't really missed a lot of games since, and he has been absolutely rolling and getting better and better and better. This is the thing. If you're going to invest $100 million in a player, you better make sure this motherfucker isn't spending his time at the strip club like James Harden. You better make sure this motherfucker isn't going to hit an athletic wall like Russell Westbrook. And, not going to be worth a crap anymore because most of his game was based on his athletic talents, which are gone now at 32, apparently. So I'm saying this right now. Pascal Siakam is such a great investment as a franchise money man that we put so much money into because we got this guy for 3 more years on his contract. And he is just getting better and better and better. This is the thing. He hasn't hit his ceiling. Like, I don't understand this. This dude is going to be better next year than he was this year, y'all. I'm going to say it right now. And the reason why is because he's got guys that are going to get better around him that are going to help him even more. Like next year, I'm looking at the contracts for next year, and we've got everybody under contract still for the most part, other than Chris Boucher and Thad Young. And then everybody else is back. So we're just going to get a repeat to build on top of this. Now, we're not done. We're going to do some stuff this playoff season first. But next year, just think about it. Coming back, Scotty more experienced, Precious with more development and changes and advances in his game. And it'll just make things easier for Pascal Siakam to come out there and kick some major ass around next to them. Because this dude is unstoppable at this point. And he is the kind of guy that won't rest on his laurels and just stay where he is as far as how good he is. Just, I'm good. I'm this good. I'm just going to stay like, no, that's not what he's doing. Because he went to the DeMar DeRozan School of Improvement. And DeMar DeRozan, every single offseason, he did something to make his game better. And he has gotten better and better each year of his career. DeMar, he just fine-tunes it. He gets better and better. Just imagine Pascal, a little bit taller, a little more athletic than DeMar DeRozan. If he continues to get this exponential kind of growth in his game, he's going to be one of the top 5 best players in the league. And people may think I'm crazy for saying that, but look, he's putting the evidence on the floor with these triple doubles recently, the way he's dominating in every kind of way. Like, he looks like some of the shit he's doing right now makes me think of Jordan kind of stuff, what Pascal's doing, the way he's controlling the game, the way he's making these shots, like just badass off-balance shots and shit like that. It's incredible what he's doing. And we are so lucky as Raptor fans that Pascal Siakam is our franchise player, that he is our money man, and that we are paying him $100 million over this contract that he's on right now. He is worth every fucking dollar of it. He is worth every dollar of his $100 million contract. And we are lucky to be able to say that because so many teams get $100 million players and they don't do jack shit. They rest on their laurels and they say, well, I'm good. I'm this guy. I earn my money. Not this guy. He's keeping it on working. He's going to get better and better still. Oh my gosh. I'm here for it. So much here for it. Tom Duke has an emoticon art here. He has the tea, he has the cup, and he's laughing. He's laughing so much he has tears coming out of his eyes because Raptors fans are laughing today because we have it so set up so good this morning. We have it so set up so good. Give us Philadelphia in the first round. Ooh, please give us Philadelphia in the first round. We have seen the future. We don't need some sort of magical window like on Romper Room to see the future. We can see the future right now. And Doc Rivers says he ain't scared. We'll match up with anybody. Doc, you're fooling yourself. You should be scared. Your team is so unorganized. One of your players doesn't even vax to be able to come here. Y'all should have had your shit together. And that just shows the ineptitude of the Sixers organization. You guys better not be too confident coming up against us because we're going to fuck y'all up. Yeah, we want to put y'all out maybe in a sweep or 5 games in the first round. That is what we want when we play Philadelphia starting next week. Oh yeah, it's gonna be badass. Darren's here. He's saying, "What up, Lex? Lex? Yeah, Darren, Lexi. Yeah. Oh, Darren, man, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, Darren, what do you got to say? I'm waiting for it." Tom Duke says, "I agree completely. Spicy P equals MVP." You know, sometimes when the Raptor fans start chanting MVP at games to Spicy P or whoever it's been in the past, maybe it's been DeMar years ago, I was always uncomfortable with that because I feel like you're giving him an accolade or an air that he may not necessarily kind of deserve. But last night, when the fans were chanting MVP for Pascal Siakam late in the game when he was shooting free throws, I felt like it was a shoe that fit. That it did seem like this dude is playing at an MVP level kind of caliber, and that this guy, yeah, you know what? That is not making me cringe hearing them call him MVP when he's up there because of the way he's playing right now. He totally, oh my gosh. Fan Chung is here. Pascal, superstar, Pascaladelphia. Yes, we got it all. We got Pascalifornia, we got Pascaladelphia. We're just taking over places. Pascal's putting his little flag of Cameroon in the ground and saying, "This is my territory now, bitch, because this is Pascaladelphia, baby." Yes. Tom Duke saying, "Bingo, you got it." He's telling me he was at that window with that tea. He's already there this morning. It's early. It's early over on the West Coast. I know y'all are 3 hours behind, so it's around 6 something, and he's already at that window with his morning tea. Loving it, Tom. Loving it. Darren's saying, "I'm still mad about those losses to the Pistons." Oh my gosh, Darren, they're eliminated. Let's let it go. It's Coach Casey's revenge. It's just how it goes, man. Just let it go. We don't have to face Detroit again until the regular season next year. Let's just forget about it. It builds character. It makes us understand maybe Detroit is the kind of team that we should be more like. That when we play Detroit, we see their transfer of energy and physicality that we're like, you know what? Let's be more like Detroit. And maybe that's part of what we're doing right now. We're more like Detroit, which is awesome. Darren's also saying, "Be well. We need you strong to beat up the Sixers in commentary fashion first round." Yes, Darren. Listen, I may feel like shit, like deep down inside. Like this week, if y'all have not noticed, I've been a little off. Like I'm having trouble. The COVID is attacking my nervous system. It's attacking my brain. It's attacking my thought. Like I've had a really hard time concentrating this week. Like just doing anything in my life has been absolutely completely difficult because of it's attacking my brain and I can't think straight. You ever have had that feeling before where as much as you're trying to concentrate and keep like on task, you can't because there's so much bullshit fighting inside your head? I've had that. And in fact, in the last couple of streams I did the last couple of days, I had really hard time concentrating and staying focused for y'all on this channel because that's what COVID's doing to me. It's attacking my nervous system. It's messing up all my aches and pains. I have a full body ache and then like a really bad headache where I can't even concentrate. That is what my symptoms have been like. And it sucks. It's been really tough, but I'm beating it, man. I'm beating it. I feel the strength of it, beating it because, you know, things like last night, watching that game really buoy my spirits and get my body fighting it on the molecular level. Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it does. And thank you, Darren. I'm going to beat this. I already feel like I've beaten the worst part of it. The Tuesday night was really tough. And the last couple mornings waking up, I was really feeling hard. But this morning, not too bad. Not too bad. It's still around, but I'm going to beat it. I know I'm almost done. All right, let's keep going. Darren's saying we should be the number one in the East, the damn Pistons. So you really feel like the Pistons put us all the way down to where we are because of that? I don't know, Darren. I don't know. You're giving too much power to the Pistons. Too much power to Casey and them. You know, I honestly have a lot of respect for them. And if we're going to have one team that kicks our ass and we have problems with, I'm glad it's Coach Casey's team. I don't want it to be anybody else. At least it's one of our old coaches and a guy I really love and respect. So yeah. All right, let's keep going. Darren saying, good, nice to see you, bro. G, oh, he's talking about G. Yeah, okay, let me hang on. All right, G saying American media is still taking Sixers if we play them in the first round. Let them think that. Let them do stupid shit. They see like, okay, this team has home court advantage or this whatever. They've got Joel Embiid, James Harden. They're gonna think whatever the fuck they want to think. And whatever. We're gonna just show them. We'll just have to show them the reality of the world and just like kick their ass. Because like honestly, I did not see anything more from the Philadelphia 76ers last night that makes me worried. There's nothing. They still have not figured out anything. And Coach Rivers keeps saying, we've seen them so much this year. We should know all their offensive plays and all this stuff. Well, if you know all that shit, why aren't you fucking beating us? Because you ain't. You ain't. I went to the very first preseason game, the first game back at Scotiabank Arena after the Tampa debacle, because I wanted to see them, and it was Philadelphia. And we absolutely routed y'all in preseason. And y'all did not do shit in that game. And after that, I was like, man, Philadelphia does not scare me this whole entire year. And nothing has changed since that very beginning of the preseason. I have not seen anything from Sixers that scares me about our matchup against them. That we fucked them up. That once again, we saw last night, Joel Embiid gets that ball. He's got one guy in between him and the basket for sure. That is the most important part of our defense on him is one person in between him and the basket for sure. And then somebody's coming from one side and then maybe somebody else come from the other side. And then he's lost the ball. And that's usually what's happening, or he's lofting it out of bounds, or he's doing some other bullshit. And James Harden is not gelling with them correctly. I know he's getting a lot of assists and he's not trying to score so much, but he's also causing a lot of turnovers. And then once again, part of the reason why we look so badass on offense is they're not a good defensive team. That they have, sure, they have Joel Embiid, but he's slow. He can be a mismatch, as I was talking about with Precious. He's guarding Precious. That's a mismatch for us to beat. And then, like anything on the other end where James Harden is, we can take advantage of that also. And that's part of the reason why Gary Trent was killing it last night and stuff like that. They are lazy on defense, and we're going to expose them for that over and over again if we play them in the playoffs. And I'm so looking forward to it and licking my chops if it's going to be a Philadelphia Toronto playoff first round, because we're going to beat their ass, put them out, and then bring on the next round. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Darren saying nice wrench, well earned. Yeah, Darren, the story about that is really weird. G was having a hard time getting into a trivia game one day, and I was like, well, maybe I'll let him be a moderator and see if that'll help. So yeah, G's a moderator on the Raptor Freak channel right now. I don't know if he's using any of those powers. I hope he isn't. Maybe if he is, he's using them for good, because he is a good, trusted Raptor Freak on this channel. And he's also the leader of the Raptor Freak trivia right now. And that's right, y'all. Next Tuesday, in the break between the regular season and the playoffs, we will have Tuesday trivia on Tuesday. So G, get ready. 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, Tuesday morning. It's the next installment of Raptor Freak trivia. And then on Wednesday, y'all, we're doing our watch along, our second watch along ever. We're going to be watching game one of the Eastern Conference semifinals, Toronto versus Philadelphia, that Allen Iverson, Vince Carter series. We're going to watch game one, the whole entirety of it on Wednesday with me, a watch along. Wednesday watch along next week. So we have some fun stuff in between on the break between the regular season and the playoffs. Thursday will be a Thursday think tank, and we're going to talk about our chances in the playoffs with the matchups that we got. We're going to look at the whole thing and our path to a possible championship. That'll be Thursday think tank. And then Friday will be a Friday flashback. It'll be me taking some old content that I did from another show that I did, and we'll be watching it and thinking about another time in the era of the Raptors and what they were dealing with. And I think we're going to be looking at the way the season ended in Tampa last year. Yeah, that's what we'll be looking at. So that's our schedule on the Raptor Freak channel for next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, special off-season programming, because we're in the middle between the games actually going on. All right, but that's what's going on right there. Paul B's here. Good to see Paul B as usual. One of the originals. Second best game of the year. Siakam had his greatest game of the season. I'm hard to argue against that. I like that Milwaukee game, though, that he did where he should have got a triple-double, and that was pretty impressive. But this one last night was pretty dominant, pretty special as far as like just him doing whatever the fuck he wanted to. Some of the shots he was hitting, he was feeling good. Like you saw it before the game and warm-ups, lots of smiles, like Pascal is feeling really, really good. Like he's in the zone. He's listening to his Les Brown and he's having good things happening in his life. And he is just available and open to opportunity and good things falling upon him. And you could tell, you see the exuberance between him and Scotty Barnes last night. Scotty, once again, he was clowning around out there. Like that 1-3 that he shot, and then he held the pose at the top of the key. I'm like, what is this guy doing? And then the whole offensive foul thing that happened. Oh my gosh, when they called that offensive foul on him and when he jammed it, and he got so mad, he was like holding his head and running, sprinting up the court. That's a fucked up technical to call on him. They've done this twice this season where they've given Scotty technicals just for showing up the ref, is basically what it is. It's not that he's doing anything wrong. It's just that he's making an over-aggrandized physical movement on the court in response to the call. And it's not even that he's saying anything or anything. It's just his energy and his exuberance as a young player. And I hate that he's getting penalized for that. That whole play was fucked up that he got the offensive foul, first of all, because you want to reward superstar dunks like that. That was badass. And if he wasn't a rookie and so new to the league, I think that he wouldn't have gotten the call that way. He would have gotten the call in his favor. And then, making it an offensive foul like that, and then him getting the technical just for running up the court like this, that was fucked up. I don't like the refs, penalizing exuberance, energy, youthful enthusiasm. That is what they've done at least twice this year. There was a technical he got earlier in the season from just being like really excited about something happening, and they gave him a technical then too. So I don't agree with those calls. And James Williams and his crew last night were a little fishy. There was some fucked up shit that they did last night, especially the play where Cam got that foul where Joel just and Fred was saying, did he foul him with his face? It's like, that was a fucked up call. And that challenge should have gone the other way. So that is like the referees were not totally on the up and up in some ways at points in time in the game last night. I did not agree with that whole part of the game where Nick Nurse did the coach's challenge and he lost. That like Ken Birch did not foul him. As Fred said, did he foul him with his face? Because that's the only part of his body that touched Joel Embiid at that time, was his face. So did he foul him with his face, ref? Answer the man. That's what he was asking. So I didn't totally agree with that. I thought that they were okay for most of the game, but there were at least 2 or 3 calls that were kind of messed up that happened in the game last night. So yeah, let's keep going. What are you guys saying? Paul B is saying second, what a win. This team can win it all. Listen, we really could. Like if we get in the right grooves with our offensive players and they're hitting their shots and we're really sound on our defense and we're attacking the glass, yeah, the sky's the limit for this team. Like we have proven that we can beat any team in the NBA this year, that we get a 7-game series. We just got to get 4. And our coach is so smart to strategize and get the right kind of game plan. Yeah, we can take down any NBA team in a best of 7. I totally believe that also, Paul. It's just we got to take each game one step at a time, and we will figure it out. We'll figure out the puzzle, each one as it comes, and we'll figure it out. And hopefully we'll get some lucky breaks where other teams go out in different ways that make it easier for the path or whatever. We'll see. That's how it takes. It takes a little bit of skill. It takes a little bit of luck, and it takes, health also. So hopefully all those kind of things are in our favor for the next month or so in this playoff run that we're about to start. Oh my gosh. Tom Duke is saying, must mention that pull-up transition 3 made me giggle. I was so happy when it went in. That was so out of the blue. And this is the thing that is foretelling about Precious and the possibilities of what he can do, is that when he's aggressive and he really figures out what he's doing with his body, he's going to be this guy that can kind of just take people apart. And I really like how him and Scotty bring the ball up the court so quickly as ball handlers, and they attack the basket. They're not like Pascal and Fred, who may come up and then set up and kind of read the defense and then go into it. No, they're going right in and going right at them. And that transition 3 was really crazy, because honestly, that's something that nobody would have predicted Precious had in his bag of tricks at the beginning of the year. That at this point, with 2 games left in the regular season, we're seeing this guy dribble the ball up the court and stop at the 3-point line and just take a three in transition. That is badass. And I'm glad you were laughing about it, Tom, because it is really something that Raptor fans should be laughing about because this is badass. And once again, they're talking about last night. Alvin Williams said that maybe we got the better deal out of the Lowry deal, that he's joking with Kyle Lowry saying, you know what? I think the Raptors robbed Miami when they traded you for Precious Achua, is what he was saying to Kyle himself. Alvin said that. He said, you know what? I think they robbed Miami when they traded you for Precious because of what we got in return. And that's awesome. That is so good. Darren's here. Darren, you're saying, whoa, let me get this right. PB, you were right. P was so looking good. PB, what is PB? But I'm listen. I'm just so happy today after what's went down last night. Now tonight we get the worst team in the NBA. Hopefully a good tune-up game for our bench guys to get out there and get something going, some good vibes and good feelings going with their play. Like I'd love to see Svi Mahalik get out there tonight and bomb like 5 threes in the game tonight. That would be fantastic if he showed up all of a sudden and we had some sort of confidence in his game just because we're playing Houston and we're resting guys. Because like tonight, I don't think Pascal's going to play tonight. And, I'd be surprised if Fred came back tonight. I think he'll be back for New York. And also I'm hearing OG will play in the New York game on Sunday. But they won't play tonight. I'll bet you we'll play we'll rest the main guys tonight as much as possible, other than Scotty and Precious, who will probably play them still because they're young guys. They can bounce back. They just need more reps. Scotty's still fighting to get that Rookie of the Year and stuff like that. So they should be those guys will play, but the older guys will probably sit tonight. That's what I'm looking at. Paul, you're saying PB, Paul B. Yeah. Paul B is saying Scotty's a superstar. Those slams, oh my, throwing Precious, splashing 5 threes. What is life? I mean, seriously, at the beginning of the season, when I was looking at this team on paper and everybody else was, they didn't factor in the X factors of what Scotty Barnes and Precious Achua could grow into by the end of the season. And that was going to be a huge part of what was going to make us so badass and be a playoff team. That these guys were right on schedule, maybe even ahead of schedule as far as their development as young players. And now they're already showing an incredible amount of talent in all kinds of different ways they can affect and control basketball games. And I love it. I love it because we're just scratching the surface, and it's just going to be really fun to see how they get better and better. Scotty is going to be a dominant player in the NBA in the next 10 years. He's going to be the kind of player that can just take over at any time with his physicality and his size and score whenever he wants. And this is just the beginning of it. We are not even seeing it yet. He's going to be like Pascal, where nobody can stop him. And if we have Pascal and Scotty out there doing this, teams are not going to be able to figure out how to stop us. They can't double everyone. You can't double OG, Gary, Scotty, Pascal, Fred. You can't double everyone. You're going to have to pick your poison, other teams, when you're facing the Raptors. Oh, yeah, you are. You're going to have to pick your poison because somebody's going to get through and get baskets for us. You cannot double team every single person. I can do math, and there's not enough people on the court to do that. I'm sorry. All right, let's keep going. Darren's saying, Achua, 3 and D machine. That was one of the cool things. I'm glad you brought up the D part because Precious did something really cool last night. He was guarding Joel Embiid to start the game, which is a much bigger player than him, and he was doing a really good job. But in a certain point in the middle of the game, he had to guard James Harden also. And I love that. It's like, listen, OG's mentality about defense is carrying over to like 3 or 4 of the other guys on the team right now. It's like OG, Scotty, Precious, Pascal, Thaddeus. All these guys want to guard and turn off the water on the best guys on the other team. And they're able to do it. It's like having 4 or 5 OGs right now. The fact that Precious can switch from guarding Embiid to guarding Harden and have very good success is badass. It's so badass. And all of these guys have the same mentality. They want to shut the water off on their best superstars on the other team. They want to be like OG. They want to have their own maladies. We got OG-itis. We got Barnes syndrome. You got a Precious malady. You got all that kind of different stuff. Yeah, that is the stuff that's going to win a championship. When you have so many good defenders that are interchangeable and can guard whoever you have to switch off onto, man, we are rolling. We are rolling. Paul B saying Siakam faking out Embiid with 1 150 to left in the fourth was bucket off his career. That was so nasty, had the entire arena in awe. You're talking about that move. He went to the lane and Joel Embiid went by and he just stayed there and he just laid it in. That was fantastic. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Pascal's getting to a new level of awareness on his offensive end, where if he's not passing out the double team, finding the open man on the outside for the three, he is absolutely killing them around the basket by figuring out how to do the footwork, shaking the guy, whatever which way. And it's like nobody can stop him. He's shooting over Joel Embiid from the outside. He's like making him go past him and then laying it in like you're just talking about, Paul B. He has a whole bag of tricks, and he's just making other teams look foolish because of the way he's schooling them right now. It's amazing. And I love that there were a couple other players that did some badass moves too. Like Gary, of course, with his side steps to get the open shot. That looked good last night. And then Scotty, what was that behind the back dribble and then shooting it, that mid-range at the top of the key near the free throw line? That was really impressive also. So these guys have one-on-one isolation moves where they can shake people off them and get good shots. I really, really like that. Let's keep going. Darren saying Paul B, he had Joel on the string. They were really guarding these guys, the top Sixers, really well last night. I mean, they got a little bit of theirs at different times. And listen, Philadelphia was scoring. They were hitting threes. They had different guys hurting us, like Maxey, and there was Yang would hit a three here or there or whatever. But we were still keeping ahead of them, keeping the lead, controlling the game on the down low, even though Philadelphia was still scoring and having good games from, like Joel Embiid had a good game last night, but it didn't matter. We still won overall, that we were able to have the more points and stuff like that. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, there's a lot here. I want to make sure I catch up and catch all of you guys' comments here. Really nice to see so many people here with me this morning. All right, let's keep going. Andrew's saying, hey, Alexi, let's go. Sixers, easy prey, round one. Let's go. This is the dagger. Ooh, yes, Andrew. Let's go, Raptors. Yes, Andrew. We are going to. Oh, yeah, we are going to. Oh, if this is the matchup. Yes, sir. It's going to be so nice to see. And we are road warriors. Let's go play in Philadelphia for the home games first. The first two games. Then we'll come back to Toronto for 3 and 4. And we'll see what happens when we play those first two games in Philadelphia. We'll get at least one of them, if not both of them. That's what I'm saying. Kenrick's here. Good to see Kenrick. We are legit contenders. I don't believe any team can beat us 4 times. I agree with this, Kenrick. It's just that we have just all kinds of different things in our favor, different weapons, different looks, great defense, great coaching staff that knows what they're doing, that will have them completely prepared. There are so many good things that the Raptors have going into this playoff season, and that we will be a very big force to reckon with. The U.S. media may not recognize it. They may not be talking about us, but they will be at some point. They're going to have to. We're going to force them to have to talk about us, because that is just who we are. We're that badass. We're going to force them to have to talk about us for sure. Marlon Toby saying, seeing Pascal make Joel Embiid jump out to right and come back with that crossover pump fake and finish was dirty. And Gary got 30 points as well. Yes, Gary was hitting his shot. And like I said, it's so nice that he wasn't relying on threes. Like a lot of his offense last night came from inside the 3-point line, a lot of like driving and laying it in, those teardrop shots where he just lets it fly and then it drops in. So badass. I love Gary Trent's game. Like there's so many different people on this Raptor team that I love for different reasons, and their different skills and their different weapons that they bring. And Gary is such a unique and important Raptor because of his particular skill set. So I'm really, really excited about that. Let's see. G-San, NBA Instagram didn't play any highlights, including that Pascal move on Embiid. Shaking my head. Whatever. Let them sleep. Let them hide it. Let them hide the nightmare of playing the Toronto Raptors. They will find it in reality when they have to. At that point of contention, at that point of when the playoffs start and that jump ball goes up and it's on, they will find out real quick the reality of the situation with the Raptors. We don't need their shine. We don't need the attention. Let us be a submarine. Let us just stay right underneath the water, and we will come and get them no matter what. They don't have to put a shine light on us because they maybe that's in our favor. They don't know. Oh, you didn't know that Pascal's doing this? Okay. Well, now you know firsthand because he just did it to you on the court. Oh, yeah. Duke Rocks is saying, I believe the biggest advantage the Raps have this season is that they're playing with house money. There should be no pressure on the Raps. They can play loose. This is true, actually, Duke. There's no expectations. We weren't even supposed to be here. So it's like when you're this, it's very freeing because a team like Philadelphia, they have all the pressure in the world. They're looking at this like you got James Harden and Joel Embiid from the beginning of the season. They were supposed to be one of the top championship contenders, that they were supposed to be one of the big players in the playoff picture, and they have anywhere to fall, they have anywhere to just fail. And meanwhile, everything we do is overachieving at this point. And Duke is right. We're playing with house money, baby. Everything's gravy at this point. We're going to fuck around and maybe we will get a Larry O.B. just with nobody like expecting it or those kind of things. People think I'm crazy, but listen, we play championship brand style of basketball and we have an amazing badass team. And like I said, in 5 or 6 years, people may look at the Toronto Raptors roster from this year and say, this team was fucking stacked. They had Precious, Scotty, OG, Pascal, Fred. They had Gary Trent. They had all these guys on the team at the same time. And they're going to look at it because they'll see where these guys have grown into in the next 5 years. And they'll be like, holy shit, that team was badass in 2022. And they'll have to say it about next year also because they're going to be even better next year. And they're all going to be still together. And it's going to be so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Duke, you're right that it really is. We have no expectations. There's all the pressure in the world on teams like Boston, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Miami, because they're expected to do this and we're not. And that's like, yeah, we'll play loose and free and just fuck around and see what happens. Oh, yeah. Darren saying, Drew, welcome back. Freak Nation Unite. Let's go. I'm so happy to see some of these originals that started with me back in the beginning and fall. People like Darren and Paul B and Andrew and Sue and everybody who was here from the start, all coming back and having a homecoming right now. Some of us have been gone and come back and stuff like that. And that's fine. Everybody has different things that happen in their lives at different times. And my stream is every day. I don't expect everybody to catch me every single day like Tom Duke, my #1 fan. But listen, you guys are back and I love it. I love seeing Paul and Darren and Andrew's names and G all next to each other because these are the guys who have been with me all year. And thank you for being here all year with me. This has been a great year. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep going. Paul B is saying this new Precious confidence is crazy. I love it. He looked like Aaron Baines at times early in the season. What's in the Gatorade? Listen, at the beginning of the season, he talked about this a little bit. Like his problems at the beginning of the season were mirroring kind of what Chris Boucher was going through also. And they were both in together talking about it with each other and trying to work through it with each other. Sometimes it's just the support of your teammates saying, we believe in you. We want you to shoot those shots. We want you to do this kind of stuff. And then it just opens up like a flower. It just becomes something beautiful that blooms. And that is what's happened with Precious, is that his team believed in him. His coaches believed in him. They gave him the ability to fail and succeed at the same time. And he's had both, but he's really had way more success than failure. There's times where we're like, don't dribble it around so much or dribble it off your foot. Or what are you doing, Precious? Stick to like things that are easier and smarter. Because he did lose the ball in a really bad way last night in a turnover at one point. But then how many different things did he do that was so badass and helping us to win also? So yeah, it's very interesting. And it's funny you brought up Aaron Baines. Anyway, Duke Rocks is saying when you get a chance, check out Chev's recent upload talking about Doc taking Lakers coaching job. Priceless. It's a must listen. Yeah, I'm hearing about this like in the last day or so. Did the Lakers have a list of coaches they want to replace Frank Vogel with? And they're saying Quinn Snyder and Doc Rivers. Listen, first of all, fuck you, Lakers. Who the fuck are you with your audacity? Like LeBron James going out and trying to get Steph Curry this week, and Steph's like, no, I'm good. I don't want to play with you. And now they're like going out and trying to get active coaches that are involved in the playoffs. Listen, Lakers, you're not in the fucking playoffs. Quinn Snyder is. Doc Rivers is, And so is Steph Curry. So stop trying to recruit for next year early. You guys act so fucking privileged and bullshit that you think the whole world revolves around your fucking sorry old asses. That you need to fucking go and recruit your new pieces for next season. Well, this shit is going on. Fuck you, Lakers, with your fucking mindset bullshit that you're putting out stories already and shit like that. I'm glad you don't float names like Nick Nurse. You know why? Because there's no fucking realistic way you would get Nick Nurse to coach the Lakers, you motherfuckers. And if I was Sixers fan or Jazz fan, I'd be pissed off at the Lakers for thinking that they can just fucking name guys as they want for their next head coach. These motherfuckers are under contract with teams already. The Lakers, the audacity and the arrogance of that fucking team, but with LeBron James involved as their GM. Fuck you, Lakers. Shut the fuck up for a couple months. You ain't relevant right now. Go fucking to the golf course and shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear about who you want for next year, your wish list and all that kind of bullshit. Just fuck off for 2 months. How about that, Lakers? Just fuck off, LeBron, and your bullshit. We don't give a shit if you want Doc Rivers. We don't give a shit if you want Quinn Snyder. They are on other teams, and there are fans and people that root for them, and you talking about that shit is disrespectful. So just fuck right on off, back to the beach and the golf course, and just shut the fuck up for 2 months, Lakers Nation. Yeah, you ain't got no fucking right to talk right now, so shut the fuck up, Laker Nation. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of this. I don't know if I sounded like Sheb just now, but that's my whole take on this. Is my take right there. Is it talking about, we want Steph. We want fuck you, Lakers. Shut the fuck up. You are irrelevant. You are who everybody thought the Raptors would be this year. You are irrelevant. We are relevant. So shut the fuck up for 2 months. Oh my gosh. Now I'm not watching Sheb because I don't want to copy him. Because he says a lot of stuff that I would probably say, and I don't want to copy him straight up. I know that he covers the NBA more in general than I do, and I'm very, very focused just specifically on the Raptors. But yeah, I might go check him out just for fun because he's fun to listen to. He gets me hyped too. Like I'm listening to him, the way he talks shit and the way he does his content is so awesome. But like I said, I've been staying away from listening to him just because I don't want to echo him. I don't want to steal any of what he's saying. I want it to be my authentic voice myself. But yeah, I love that he's still making badass fucking content and stuff like that. Yeah, that's my whole take on that thing you just brought up there, Duke. Is Lakers need to shut up for 2 months. You're not relevant. You just go away for a little while. We don't need to hear it. G saying Precious's defense has also been next level. Yeah, this is something on the down low with all the threes and the things we're seeing offensively that's impressive. We are not really talking enough about his defense and what he's doing on the defensive end. That this dude is a really badass defender. Like he's the level of defender that OG is kind of. Like these guys, if OG's the measuring stick, we're starting to see like 2 or 3 or 4 of the other Raptors have that same kind of level of all-around defense where they can guard any of 1 through 5, and they are very effective at shutting him down, whether it's James Harden or Joel Embiid. Precious on him, doing a great job. Pascal is always on the down low, been that kind of defender, and we haven't given him enough credit for it just because he's so like great offensively. But in some ways, his defense is badass too and stuff like that. So it's like we got to look at that. Really, really do. Okay, Sheb does an impression of Doc. I do Doc too. You guys want to hear me do my Doc real quick? Hey guys, get out there. Get out there. Go on, go. No, stop, Siakam. No, what are you doing? No. I mean, that's kind of like his very raspy voice. He's, all right, let's see. Tom Duke saying JoJo got all pissy with Precious after the game, probably because Precious handed him his soother all game. There was some interesting interactions after the game ended. Like I could tell Precious and Joel are friends. Like they have a connection from their days coming from Africa and coming here. They may have played or been around each other, but you could tell they're actually friends the way they were talking to each other. But there was some shit talking. Oh, yeah. There was some shit talking going on where Precious and him right at the end of the game. You saw that, Tom. You know who else was talking major shit to Joel Embiid at the end of the game last night? It was Drake. Yeah, Drake grabbed him at one point and pulled him over, and he said some shit to him. We're going to fucking put you out in the first round is basically probably what he said to Joel. And Joel wasn't liking it. He wasn't hearing it. It was really interesting. And I found out more about the relationship between Pascal Siakam and Joel Embiid, both being from Cameroon. These guys are not from the same part of Cameroon. In fact, somebody had described it in a Facebook group I'm in, is that Joel Embiid is from the hood in the inner city of Cameroon, and Pascal Siakam grew up in the suburbs, apparently. But they are like, they asked Pascal after the game in the interview, how do you feel, what's your relationship like with Joel? They're not very close, but they're friendly and they do text each other. Apparently, that's what Pascal was saying, that over the years they have developed a friendship where they text each other sometimes after games and stuff. So they are friendly. They're cool. They're countrymen. They're from the same place. So of course they have a bond that unites them, and especially them being both top all NBA type talents. That is saying a whole lot for the country of Cameroon. They should be super proud of both those young men and what they're accomplishing in the NBA as a country, because that's not a huge country. There's not a lot of people from there. And for them to have two all NBA level talents in the NBA right now, that is super fantastic. And Cameroon should be proud. They should be very proud. So yeah, it's very interesting. And that there was a lot of shit talking at the end of the game. I saw it. Drake in particular and Precious talking mad shit to Joel Embiid to his face. Really good. Callie's here. Good to see Callie. Callie's another one of my favorites. Good morning. Hope you are feeling better. I am feeling a bit better, Callie. And I did get a test yesterday. I am positive. I got that pink line next to the blue one, and it told me I am positive. But I'm going to take a second one after the stream today, and we'll see if it comes out with the same result. But this morning I woke up better. I still had a body ache. It was mostly centered in my back, but I didn't have the congestion, and the headache isn't as bad this morning. I'm feeling pretty good, if you can't tell from how I'm doing the stream this morning. Okay, Callie's saying terrible start, but man, what a game. So many players stepped up. Pascal schooled Embiid. He definitely schooled Embiid. I loved it. He schooled the whole Sixers team. Like, it didn't matter who was guarding him. He cooked each one of them. And yeah, the start was horrible, Callie. This is exactly what we didn't want. Had 2 points, and they hit 5 3-pointers to open the game to be 15 points. Like 3, Danny Green, 3, Tobias Harris. Just insane how they were hitting their threes. And I was like, oh, crap. But then once again, a testament to the Raptors and how they, like, another teammate got down right away, like Minnesota or something, and just rolled over right away. Oh, they're beating us, bombing us already. But no, our team overachieves, gets pissed off, and they do something about it. And the run that we went on in the first quarter to make things a lot more closer by the end of the first quarter was badass. And then we kept going on these good runs at different times throughout the game. And you're right. What a great plethora of Raptor players stepping up last night. We had Pascal, Gary, Scotty, Precious, all doing important things. Even Chris had important moments. Thaddeus Young, important moments and stuff like that. Really nice to see Malachi come in there and get a 4-point play. Like, that shot was badass when he hit it. Like, I was like, yes, Malachi. And then he hit the free throw. I was like, that is a good thing. This is all good, like, stuff. Getting good production, and we don't even have our captain or our defensive savant, OG Anunoby or Fred VanVleet, out there. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. They're only missing Thibault. Thibault's not going to make up that much more like Fred and OG will when they show up with our side. Yeah, Philadelphia fan, you need to be kidding yourself. And you can blame vaccine rules and Thibault not being there, but that wouldn't even fucking matter that much either. So start making excuses now, because you're going to need to make a lot of excuses in the 2 weeks that are coming up when we fucking put your ass out of the playoffs. That's what's going to happen. Oh, yeah. G saying, Tom, I saw that. He was trying to get into Precious's head after the game. What a baby. Yeah, I didn't see it that way. I looked like Precious was talking shit to him. And then, like I said, Drake pulled him over and he talked some mad shit to him. Drake was really on it last night. And I love that he was there and he was engaged in the game. Instead of the last time I saw him at the game, he had his head on his phone the whole game. Last night, he was up out of his seat. He was yelling. He was like, looked like he was coaching with Nick Nurse at one point. They were talking and trying to figure things out together. I don't know what was going on there. And then, of course, Fred being the coach too. It's like we had Drake doppelgangers out there coaching for the Raptors last night. Fred with that badass Fred VanVleet chain and emblem, and just Fred's expressions last night. If you see some of the pictures of Fred from the game last they kept calling him like Papa Coach. He's Coach Papa because he's like the Papa of all the young players, and he's so proud. And his faces and stuff that Fred were making last night was so awesome. You could tell Fred was having a good time last night. He was smiling a lot. So good, so good. Paul B saying, I looked up and found the game. I became a Raptors fan for life. November 7th, 2006. Raptors 106 to 104. Chris Bosh hit a game clinching three with 6 seconds left. Fan for life. That's awesome, Paul. I love hearing these kind of stories from you guys. Maybe we'll do a segment this summer where we all talk about how we became Raptor fans, like Paul just said there. Here, that'd be a really cool maybe stream to do. Is like a stream about when we decided that this was our team and that they would be our team for life. I love that, Paul. I love that story, and I think I kind of vaguely remember that game with Chris Bosh hitting a 3-pointer late to win it. Duke saying, "Gee, man, Chev floor me." Chev is great entertainment. He is hilarious. You know, him and I, like I said, he was an inspiration for me to do the station because I saw him just talking off the cuff about basketball. I'm like, man, I know stuff about basketball. I could do this too. And he really was one of the people that inspired me to make this channel. So NBA Sheva has a big part of my heart and respect for sure. And he is hilarious. Like he just goes off. He just goes off. Like I don't want to go off and be exactly like him. Like I want to give my own flavor of Raptors content and stuff like that. And we have our own duties and different things that we do. But I will do a little bit of what Chev does and talk some shit and just go off at some point sometimes. It's hilarious. Paul B saying versus 76ers got flashbacks. Yeah, guys, since it's looking like we're going to play the Sixers in the first round, I'm going to watch that whole Sixers series, Vince versus Allen Iverson, as part of the Wednesday watch along. First, that is going to be the next series of Wednesday watch along. We'll watch game one next Wednesday. I think we'll start it at 10 a.m. I'm not sure what the time I'll start it at exactly. I think maybe we'll have a 10 a.m. start for watch alongs just so I have enough time to get it set up and stuff like that. So, game one, Eastern Conference semifinals 2001. Philadelphia and Toronto, Vince versus Allen Iverson watch along next Wednesday. Watch it with me because we get that Sixers Raptors feel going on. Yeah. All right. The family's here. Good to see the family. Always happy to see the family here. So LeBron James can bang the ball on the ground 3 times in front of the ref. Nothing. LeBron James can throw the ball. Other players face nothing. But Scotty Barnes can't clap and be excited. I know. It's really like the rule is if you do a demonstrative physical gesture that shows up the referee, like when Gary hit his arm like this and it showed up Tony Brothers, technical. Okay, so Scotty ran at full sprint with his hands like a Home Alone kind of holding his head, kind of running up the court. And they thought that showed him up because he didn't say anything. He didn't cuss. He didn't do nothing. He just ran really quickly. And like, that's just him, his energy. That's just his showing. And they called him a tech for that. That's really fucked up. That is not a good reason to call somebody a tech on somebody. But it really is the ref in their mind. Ooh, he's showing us up because of this by running up the court, holding his head. That's so fucked up. And you're exactly right, family. LeBron got away with a lot worse stuff in the games against us that he didn't get technicals for and stuff like that. And so, you know, I'm watching the games pretty closely. And when guys slam the ball on the ground or they hit the thing with the ball, that's a technical. That's always been a technical. So I don't understand. Sometimes guys get away with it, like LeBron, and they don't call it on them. That's fucked up. It should be the same for everybody, no matter who they are, whether it's LeBron James or Armani Brooks, something like that. It should be the same. Mary Jane's here. Good to see Mary Jane. Raps took the fun out of basketball for Philly. Yes, Mary Jane. It is not fun to play us. It is not. In Philadelphia, especially, it's not fun for them. Joel Embiid is not having fun. You think he had fun last night? No, he did not. And James Harden's not there to save him. He's not going to save him. We've seen James. James is such a weird guy. So weird. Like, even in the press conference after the game, listening to him is hilarious. The way he just carries himself. He's just aloof. I don't think he gives a shit about anything. Like, he's just fucking living his life, his Rick Ross life. He's throwing money up at the strip clubs and fucking having a good time. That's just his life. Hey, let it be. I love the new nickname that they have for him, Brick Ross. They're calling him Brick Ross. That's a great nickname for him. And that 1-3 that he took was an air ball was hilarious. Listening to the crowd laugh at him when he shot that air ball 3 last night was gold. Gold. Oh my gosh. They're not having fun, Mary Jane. No, they're not. They're not having fun. Criscom's here. Good to see the great Criscom. Laughing my ass off. 76ers are trash. Embiid's crying if they match up with the Raptors come playoffs. Oh my gosh, this is such a great first round matchup for us. And if this is what's going to be, then hey, let's go with it. This is great. And it's really crazy because the scenario, the way it is right now, if we win tonight and on Sunday against the Knicks, which is very probable, these are two shitty teams and we need to take care of business. And the Philadelphia 76ers lose both their last games, which is not as probable because they're playing like Detroit and some other shitty team. And I think it's Indiana. I think they're playing Indiana and Detroit. But if they lose both the games against Indiana and Detroit and we win both our games, we're in the fourth seed and they're in the fifth seed and we get the home court advantage in the matchup. So that is something that could still happen this weekend. But of course, we need Detroit to overachieve. Coach Casey, go do us a solid. And Indiana, I don't know how you're going to do that. Pull a rabbit out of a hat or something. I don't know. If Indiana can beat Philadelphia somehow, some way, and we end up with the fourth seed and home court advantage against Philadelphia, look out, because that is still possible. It's not very likely, but that is still possible. Paul B's here saying, yes, that precious transition three was his best bucket of the season. Absolutely stunning. Stopped me in my tracks. It was just really like a benchmark showing how far Precious has come this season, that he has that kind of confidence. And like people were saying, no, don't take any threes. Well, taking a three in transition, stop and shoot is very, very not like, it's like, you don't want guards to do that quite often. Like I used to get mad when Lowry used to do that kind of shit so much years ago. It was like, Lowry, don't take a shot so early in the shot clock and just shoot up a three like that. Well, Precious is looking like dialed in. Like even some of the other threes that he made, he had guys coming at him and it was such a beautiful swish. Like there's something different about his three-point shooting right now. It's very much a confidence thing. Like he's very confident he's going to make the three. And that's why I love what he's doing. 5 for 6 last night. That's pure confidence to make those kind of shots the way he's making them. And that's just a testament to who he is. And one of the things I love about Precious last night in the press conference, they asked him, who do you think is the MVP for this season? Do you think it's Giannis or Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid? And Precious said, I'm not going to answer this. And he said, you know who I think the MVP is? Pascal Siakam. I love that, Precious. Yes, that is the best answer. As tell them to shut the fuck up. You're not giving flowers to another guy in the league for MVP race. You're just basically straight up saying it's our guy Pascal. If you saw the game tonight, you would agree with him also. Come on now. Oh yeah, it was so badass. Callie saying Precious said he's been practicing that shot. He's definitely been practicing and putting in work because his game is exponentially growing this season. It's just going to be badass. They get this training camp and this off season this year. They're going to come back with a very different kind of start to the season. If everybody's healthy and they have some new bags of tricks and Nick Nurse and his innovation and ingenuity, we're going to come out of the gate next season in a badass way. And like I said, I think that we're going to be the number one team in the East and have the best record next season. That if we don't have any problems with injuries and there's no COVID bullshit still going on for the most part next season, we should be the number one team in the East and have the best record on that side, because we already had a really good record this year with all the problems and just learning. Now when we have more of our shit together next season, we should be aiming to be number one in the East as far as record wise and being top dog. That's what I want next year. Oh yeah, that's what I want. Paul B saying, what is PB? Is Paul's Boutique. That's right. I just figured it out. I thought we were talking about a player and it was like Precious PB. No, Precious' last name is A. It would be PA. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, that's Paul Boutique. Yeah. Hi, Plains Drifter. Yes. Darren saying, do love taking the love out of Philly fans and the team. Laugh out loud. Mary. Yes. Listen, Philadelphia fan, they've had good times and bad times. There are angry times. There's times throwing batteries at Santa Claus. There's doing all kinds of crazy shit. Listen, we don't want brotherly love, the city of brotherly love, to have brotherly love. We want them to have brotherly sadness and crying in the form of maybe possibly Joel Embiid running to the back to the dressing room after we sweep them or put them out of the playoffs. This is what we want. And this is what we're striving for. And this is what we know we have the recipe for. And that's what we're looking at. Oh, yeah, I love taking it out of any of the Atlantic Division opponents that we have. Knicks, Nets, Celtics, Sixers, any of their fan bases when they are upset because the Raptors are fucking up their team. It is a nice sunny day in the 416. Oh, yeah, it is. Callie's saying they did a good job on Harden. They really did do a good job on Harden. Because, listen, he's not that effective anymore at his age. He really isn't. Like, he is not the kind of scorer he used to be, for sure. 13 points on 3 of 12 shooting, that is pretty much garbage. Like, he's a really good passer. He got 15 assists, but that is garbage for his own offensive game. And Sixers fans got to be feeling like, man, we're getting damaged goods. Like, we're getting a guy that isn't as advertised. This is not the same dude that was in Houston a couple years ago. And they can't be feeling good. You just get, you gave up a lot to get James Harden. You gave up not only your, young Ben Simmons, but you also gave up Seth Curry and Andre Drummond and stuff like that. So Sixers got worse because of the deal they did with Ben Simmons at the trade deadline. They did. They got worse. Darren saying, just like OG says, we don't shoot to miss. Stupid Grange questioning Chua, the 3-point maker. Yeah, I hate when these guys ask this in the media scrum. Like, they always say, well, what made you think you could take that transition 3 and make it? It's like, motherfucker, you've not heard these Raptors. We don't play to lose. We don't shoot to miss. You know what? Yeah, exactly. I love that you brought up what OG said, Darren, because that is just the damn truth. It's like, what made you think you could make that shot, OG, in the bubble against the Boston Celtics? Well, I don't shoot to miss. Come on, God damn it. Get with the program, media guys. You asking me questions and stuff like that. Get with the program here. The Raptors are who the Raptors are. We're about winning, and we don't shoot to miss. We don't play to lose and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Michael Grange with your dumbass questions. They're going to have to start giving us our kudos. Okay, Darren saying PB and J. Paul B and J. J. Who's J? I don't know. It's Jelly. It's JoJo. Paul B and JoJo. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Slincy YT. Good to see you again. I don't know how Scotty doesn't win Rookie of the Year. I don't know either. I did go and look at some of the rookie rankings after y'all said he was third still. And yeah, the NBA still has him as third. And other people are pushing Cade Cunningham at this point. What the fuck is wrong with you people? You hate Canada this much that you're going to take away a prestigious award that this young man is entitled to because of the way he's playing statistically, and that his team has the best record out of these fucking other teams with this fucking bullshit? Fuck you. I did see one ranking that had Scotty at number 1 and Franz Wagner at number 2. They didn't even have fucking Mobley or Cunningham at second. So listen, there are powers out there that are fighting and pushing for Scotty to win it. And Scotty himself, once again, this is the weird thing about Scotty's games recently. He started really slow in some of the games recently. Like that one game where they benched him and then he didn't start the third quarter. And then he came out and went gangbusters later and made up his scoring finally. Well, this was kind of the game like that last night. He was 1 for 5 at the halftime. He didn't have any points. And then in the second half, he kind of went dominant and did a lot of stuff then. Like, because he ended up with 13 points. He only had like 2 points at the half, and he got 13 and 10. That's fantastic. Scotty, keep getting double-doubles and winning games, because this is how you win the Rookie of the Year. You're getting double-doubles, and we're winning. And I don't know what Cleveland's doing right now. They're losing, and they're falling. And Detroit, why are they talked about? They're not even relevant. Cade Cunningham can score 50 points for them, and it doesn't even fucking matter. Who cares? Cade, go beat Philadelphia this weekend. Sure, we're wanting you to go do that, but what the fuck? Get with it, NBA. Stephen A. Smith even has decided that Scotty Barnes is Rookie of the Year. Like, get with it, NBA pundits and voters. Make sure you get that Rookie of the Year to Scotty, or feel his wrath next season if you don't, because you will feel his wrath if you don't. And if you don't give it to him, you may want to feed the beast now a little bit of a tribute before he gets crazy and he wants a different kind of trophy by the end of this NBA postseason. And that may be an Larry B. So you better give him Rookie of the Year. Sate the beast in him. Because if you don't, that motherfucker's going to go out there and make you pay. You know he will. Because he has a legacy that he wants to fulfill. And if you don't let him, by not giving him the Rookie of the Year when he deserves, he will make you pay. Trust me. Mark my words right now, NBA. So you either give him the trophy that he deserves, or he will go and get other trophies that he wants instead. And that's what I really believe. Oh, yeah. All right, let's keep going. G is saying this is in a development year. My goodness, the league is in trouble soon. That's true. This is a development year. These guys have not been put together long enough. They have not gelled completely. They do not have second nature in some different ways that they will more so even next year. This is the development year, and we're a playoff team and a very scary team already. So listen, if we're developing to something more, where are we going to go with the development to even higher, greater lengths? That's what I'm saying. Next year, we should be the number one team in the East, that we should be dominating everybody come next season. Oh, yeah. Diane Hart, good to see a new name. I'm here every morning at some point between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. I'll do a live stream with everybody, and we'll just talk about whatever's going on in the Raptors world daily. And I'm really happy to see you here. I hope you'll come back. Hit that red subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000. Hey, Alexi, love your pre and post game takes. Hope you're feeling better. Go Raps. Thank you so much for the well wishes. I feel the COVID inside me, and I'm fighting it right now. I'm fighting it just like we're going to fight in the playoffs, hitting the glass and getting good defensive plays on people, stealing the ball, block shots, all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate your compliment, and I hope you'll continue to follow my content. I pledge to be here every single day, no matter what. Even if I have COVID and I feel like shit, I will be here every single day. I promise you, Diane. I appreciate that. Marlon Toby saying the NBA should do like FIFA in regards to foul calls, where the VAR official has the authority to instruct the in-game refs when they make bad calls. Okay, so talking about Secaucus, like if they can see from the outside and the refs that are there are seeing something that's not right, that they can overrule them from New Jersey. I'm not against this in some ways. I think this would be good. The NBA is really, really trying hard to make sure that it looks like they're on the up and up with their refs. And the more I delve into this subject with my research and just observation from game to game with the different refs and stuff like that, I'm starting to really believe that they are truly trying to be as much on the up and up as possible. The Tim Donaghy scandal has really tarnished the reputation of refereeing in the NBA, and it has stuck around for a long time. And that they really are working hard, whether it's the 2-minute report, whether it's all kinds of different ways that they try and get across that they are. But I think on the download, there still is some favoritism for certain established old, long-time teams like the Celtics, but also that there are some personal preferences among refs, like the whole thing with Scott Foster and Chris Paul. That is undeniably a grudge. And that happens between players and referees, that there are grudges too that are in play in the whole thing of fairness with the NBA reffing. But it's going to be very interesting. And I think that suggestion you're making, Marlon, is kind of interesting. Like if it's worked for FIBA to a different degree, then maybe the NBA should look at it and try and figure that out. But also it's the kind of thing where you might piss off a crew chief that's in the building and like make them look bad in front of the thing. And that's kind of part of it too. It's kind of like with cops. You know, there could be a bad cop, but some of the good cops will stick up for him because they want to protect the institution and integrity of the position, the profession. And that maybe like going against a crew chief on the ground in the arena could possibly make that integrity or respect for the authority of the position weird because it's undermining it from afar. And then, you know, who knows? That's one problem I could see with it. But I'm all for them trying this. And the NBA may try this. This actually sounds like this is very plausible that they may try and do this. Paul B saying, and coming for more. Thanks for all the streams, man. It's great to finally see a group of equally diehards who don't doubt the team, but try to support them. Yes, Paul. This season has been a development season for the Raptors. This season has been a development season for this channel. And I wanted to put out a light, shine a beacon like a lighthouse to all the Raptor fans that are positive and sick of the cynicism, sick of the beating up of our players when they fail, sick of the trade talk, sick of like putting us down back and forth, whether it's among fans. We are all supportive. When you're on our side and you are going for Raptor wins and the next Larry O'Brien, when you trust in Masai, when you don't beat up and beat down on Pascal Siakam, you belong here with us. And the development of this channel in this community that we built, Paul B, is so fantastic. And I love it, man. This is the place for the positive Raptor fans to escape from all that bullshit toxicity that can be online among our own fans. And we are the real ones here. And more of us are finding it every day. And I'm so happy and glad about it, because this is a place where we build up the Toronto Raptors. We don't ever tear them down or insult them or put them down. If they're struggling, we try and pull them out. We reach a hand to them and to pull them out of that hole that they're in. And we're not picking them while they're down. That's what other fans of other teams can do, but not our part in the Raptor fan nation. And there will be Raptor fans that do that otherwise, but not here. We don't allow it. That's not what we're about. That's right. Tom Duke is saying your fans are the best 100% real ones. Tom Duke, you're right there at the top of the list. You guys are all real ones, and I appreciate y'all. It's like, thank you for coming here, and thank you for instilling some happiness in my life, knowing that there are other fans that treat this like I do, that we don't want to be negative fans, that we don't want to put our team down half the time or feel negative or pessimistic about them. And when we have felt down at times during the season with losses or anything like that, somebody in this group has come in here and been the voice of reason at times and told us, well, listen, we got to look at the bigger picture, and we're on our way to very good things. And that has been fantastic, because there has been times this year where we've been depressed, we've been down, and somebody's come in here. I don't remember who it's been at different days, whether it's Paul, G, Sue, Callie. Different people come in here and shine a light on the good things that we need to look forward to, even in the darkest times this season. And I appreciate that. This is a big badass thing about this channel. G saying Thad has given Precious a ton of confidence. Thad told him he's the most athletic player on the team and to use it. Yeah, I've been hearing stuff about how Thaddeus has been talking to the guys and getting them more inspired and more. And that's true. It kind of does, like, the timeline fits with Thad appearing and showing up on our team after the trade deadline, and then Precious just growing exponentially since the All-Star break and stuff like that. This is actually very true. That lines up with that kind of thing. But yeah, that's a good point. Criscom's saying another win coming up tonight. All right, let's see what Criscom's prediction is. He's not even going to make a prediction against the G League Rockets. Let's go. I'm hoping that we just get a real thick layer of maple syrup poured on the Rockets tonight. Like, I want to see a 20, 30-point win tonight. I don't want to see any kind of reading on Callie's stress meter at any point. There really shouldn't be. Like, if I'm going to do a preview real quick, listen. The Rockets have shut down all their main veteran guys like Christian Wood, Eric Gordon. These guys are not playing anymore for the season. They're really just playing their youngsters, and that's it. Like, these guys, it's like Jalen Green and the youngsters who we're going to see tonight. So that's why I think we can afford to shut down guys, continue to have Fred and OG out, and then possibly even let's rest Pascal tonight. Let's let Pascal have tonight off, the second night of a back-to-back, and like let the young guys like Precious and Scotty go out there. Gary Trent probably could still play, but maybe he sits also. I don't know. But tonight we should see a very interesting lineup of who shows up for the Raptors. And it should be a B team. It shouldn't be our absolute best. It should be a chance for our bench guys to maybe get something good going before the playoffs. Like, I'd love this. Like I said, I'd love to see Svi go out there and bomb a bunch of threes and get some points, or see Yuta have a really big game tonight. Malachi, Armani Brooks, good stuff from them tonight. That's the kind of stuff we should be looking for tonight. Let's see. Paul B saying with Flynn, we can always bust a zone. Handles like Steve Nash. Flynn has been showing really like invaluable kind of traits to his game that helped us. Like last night, he wasn't in for very long, but he did great stuff. It was like another little guy to just get out there and run around and chase Harden and Maxey. And that was good. Monique's here. Good to see Superfan Monique as usual. She is saying, let me skip back. It just jumped ahead. Monique is saying, hope everyone is well. Let's go Raptors. Unstoppable. Yes, Pascal is unstoppable. Monique is in a new commercial, y'all. Monique just filmed a commercial for Google Pixel, and she's going to be all over your television. Superfan Monique, so proud of you, and just awesome to see you continue to make great Raptors content with the franchise and doing the different things. You are a community champion and a great example of a great Raptor Freak out there doing her thing and making things happen, moving and shaking. That's what Monique is all about. And look out for her new Google Pixel ad campaign. lane that she's in. Oh, yeah, this is so proud of you, Monique. You are a badass. You are unstoppable. Pascal Siakam and you, Monique. Paul B saying Precious's three made a 10-point game. So quite a moment. Yeah, that was an important time. That is one of the things that I really love about Precious and Scotty is they're hitting big shots at key moments to help us keep the lead or stay on top in a major way. And those are high pressure situations. And maybe this bodes towards them being able to be clutch performers in high pressure situations where we really need baskets. One of the plays last night I really loved was Pascal's offensive rebound putback really late. That just showed pure like drive and just want. When he shot that shot, he missed it. He went and got his own rebound and put it right back. That is pure hustle and desire. And I love seeing that from Pascal. And if he's showing that as the leader of the team, then these guys, these young guys like Precious and Scotty, they're going to crash the boards and do similar kind of things. And I really love the admiration and respect that Scotty has for Pascal. Like he is a hero to Scotty right now. He is a role model for Scotty, showing him. And you can tell that he really enjoys seeing Pascal play at such a huge high level and celebrating him. Like you see it on all the Instagrams this morning. You go and look at their Instagrams and they're all celebrating Pascal's triple double. And Scotty in particular is saying all these amazing things about Pascal. And he really looks up to him. You can tell it's like a big brother that I want to be like you someday kind of thing. And Scotty's exuberance and joy towards Pascal in particular is so heartwarming to me as a Raptor fan. And there's another thing I want to talk about that happened last night that was actually really, really great. And I want to thank Danny Green so much, Danny Green, for having your ring ceremony last night. The fact that the pandemic happened and robbed him of this moment until last night finally was really actually really good. And I'm really glad that Danny waited for the fans to be back and he didn't do it when there were no fans in there. I'm really glad he didn't do it any time before, because what happened is that he stretched out to this moment in time after this season of the Raptors playing together, Scotty, Precious, Pascal, Fred, and all them, to see Pascal and Fred come out there with that little box with that ring in it and give it to Danny Green. And they showed Scotty on the bench looking at that. And you could tell that's a moment. That's the kind of shit that makes Scotty go out there and want to get that himself. And the fact that it got delayed until last night and that he got to see it in that kind of context of being in the stretch run of the season for Rookie of the Year and the playoffs and stuff like that, and to see Danny get his ring, it's kind of like, this is what you want, youngster. This is, you want to be like Danny Green. You want to wear his championship jacket and come into the game and lend it. He's got the jacket now. He's got Danny Green's OVO jacket now, which is crazy. But that was such a great moment in the context of this season and all the work Scotty's put in. This is what you work towards, Scotty, is getting that box, that ring in it, and him seeing it happen and seeing it in within our franchise. And from that year, it's like it's a carryover remnant from that very badass 2019 championship year that Scotty got to see a real tangible moment from that time. And something for him to gauge his sights on, to put his scope on for where he wants to get. And he could see it right in front of him last night when they came and gave him that ring. And that was so special that Siakam and Van Vliet gave him the ring. I love that moment. And I didn't think that moment would make me cry, but that moment made me cry more than the Kyle Lowry return moment, because it reminded me of the 2019 season and how badass it was. And it made me realize that these youngsters, they can see now the tangible results of winning and getting that Larry O.B. You get a ring, and you got to see Danny get his ring, Scotty. That is badass. Sorry, I had to step away for a second. I get a little emotional. This has been a tough week. Lowry week, getting rings, getting COVID, all this kind of stuff. This is a little emotional. Sorry. Anyway, I really love that Scotty got to see Danny get his ring, because in a way that is like a carrot, putting a carrot in front of the work mule and showing him what you're going for. And it was really special. It was so special. I love seeing that so much. All right, let's keep going. All right. Paul B is saying great High Plains Drifter impression. Thank you. I love that album. That's my favorite song on that album too. Monique is saying American media keep talking about us, see us. They're gonna have to see us, Monique. It's not like we're invisible, and there'll be tangible results when we put one of those big teams out in the East. Raymond Jacobs here. Good to see Raymond Jacob. Don't be so hard on Harden. I hear Philly doesn't have the best strip clubs. Raymond is being a joker as usual. I love it. G's laughing. Tom's laughing. Raymond, you're a badass. Monique saying Harden who? Raymond. Monique's like Harden who? Yeah, really, seriously. He is that Homer Simpson meme that just kind of fades into the bushes. Like when this time of the year comes around, like in the playoffs, this is just who James Harden is. And it's just how it is. It is what it is. Oh, gee, thanks for a modding. G's actually doing moderating work right now, and I appreciate that, G. G, if you see these kind of spams, go ahead and do this if I don't get to it first, please. That I really appreciate you being a moderator. Monique saying, say hello to the fifth seed. Maybe say hello to the fourth seed, baby. Let's see if we can win out and they lose out and we get that fourth seed and get home court advantage after all in the end. That'd be crazy. G saying Perkins and Stephen A. Smith voted Scotty. SAS is actually promoting him. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith is actually promoting Scotty at this point. That is fantastic and that is great because people listen to him. As much of a hothead and all, he talks out of his ass all the time. Yeah, he will. BTOB is saying, I just love your content because you read our comments. Feels like we're having a conversation. Of course. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to make this interactive. It's not easy to do live streams because you got to be on and you could fuck up. I could say all kinds of stupid shit. I fuck up on these things all the time. Sometimes I say things that aren't actually factual and I go back and I'm like, oh, I'm cringing. I'm like, that wasn't actually right. But for the most part, I try to be as on the up and up with everything that I'm saying here. And so you can trust what I'm saying for the most part, as far as my information. But I appreciate that compliment. And this is part of why I wanted to make my channel unique. That it is an interactive two-way street. It's not just me throwing everything at you guys. You guys are giving me information also. And I find out things, something's breaking news and somebody sees it and they talk about it in here. And all of a sudden I'm like, I didn't know because I did my research before I came on. And that's really helpful also. I appreciate that. Monique's saying just Champagne killing it. And Justin Champagne killing it in the playoffs already, conference finals. Yeah, that was a big performance by Justin last night. I really wish I could have watched that game, but from what I'm hearing, what happened was Justin and Delano were kind of a two-man attack with Kevon Harris was kind of helping also, and then Isaac Bonga was big defensively at the end of that game to help them beat Capital City. And now I'm not sure who we're playing, but we're playing our next game on Sunday. That'll be the Eastern Conference Finals of the G League on Sunday. And I hope it's not exactly at the same time as the New York game at 7. It'd be great if that G League game was in the afternoon on Sunday. That'd be fantastic. But we'll see. I'd like to watch both of them. That'd be great. Banana Bread Tan saying, hey, y'all. Evelyn's here. Good to see Evelyn. Good day, y'all. What a game. I got drunk last night. I had one too many. Let's go, Raptors. Hey, it's celebrate time. Celebrate good times. Come on, Evelyn. Dun, 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 dun. Woohoo! Yeah, Evelyn was having party time last night. Hey, what a great way to party with the Raptors win on both teams. Double Raptor wins. Yeah. Banana Bread Tan saying, I knew Thad would do this. He is a giver, and we have good, sincere guys. This is what young men respond to. Oh, shit, jumped. He's a perfect older brother, father figure. Yeah, he's bringing a lot of good different things. Interesting last night to see him talking to like Doc Rivers, talking to the refs and stuff like that. He really does have an established NBA persona or reputation around him that actually may help us because we don't have enough veterans on our team, that we need a little bit of a veteran respect, and hopefully Thaddeus can provide in that department. And he has so far, at least from what I've seen. Banana Bread Tansen positive has Precious has achieved high levels of efficiency, can pass down skills to other. Oh, he's positive. Thad's positive, has achieved high levels of proficiency, can pass down skills to others, and initiate mentorship dynamics while being encouraging. We got that for Goran and a pick. Goran was supposed to do that, but he was incapable of it. In some ways, he couldn't connect. In some ways, he's too trapped in his ego and what he wanted to do as himself on the team. And he couldn't take a step back and just be that mentor kind of guy on the team. And that's too bad. That speaks more about who Goran is than anything else. And that Thaddeus is the kind of guy that we needed in that role from the start of the season right away. Now, it's going to be interesting this offseason about whether we re-sign that or not. Like, we may not bring him back. This may be just a short little run with us this season since the All-Star break, and then like he's gone. But it could be interesting to see what we do. It could be that he's somebody that we do want to keep just because he's really has fit in with that positionless core of being one of those guys. So very interesting. Yeah. Everybody give the kudos to Monique. She's in a Google commercial. That's big time. That's a big, big company and very big achievement for sure. Banana Bread Tan saying, which should we rather have? A first round pick or a guy that helps our improve the likeliness to help our young stallions reach their upper potential limits? This offseason with the draft, I don't really care about the draft pick. Like, I'd almost rather just get like a project, somebody like a Pascal, somebody like a Malachi, somebody that's not necessarily big time or super like impressive, and just like, really focus on our guys we got this year. Like, not only just Scotty and Precious, but Delano and Justin. Like, these guys could have a whole other level of growth next season. And that, the rookie that we get in the draft this year could be a project, somebody that we try and develop over time, but it's not somebody who's going to be instantly important. Like, they could end up being more like Delano this year, the person we draft this year. So I don't know. I would rather have, for me personally, I don't really care about first round picks or high draft picks. I've realized with our team, the way that we build our team, we can do it any which way. We don't have to rely on being a lottery team and getting a high draft pick like Scotty Barnes, that we can find gold in all kinds of different other ways, whether it's like through our own development inside the organization or just having badass scouting. And we find like players from other places in the world that nobody knew about, like somebody like a Matt Thomas or something like that. That kind of stuff is the kind of thing that we do to improve without needing either a big free agency signing or a really high draft pick, that we're able to get better that way. And that's actually kind of the way the Spurs did it also, because you got to be, if you're going to be good every year, you're going to be in the playoffs every year. You're not going to get really high draft picks. So you have to really make good draft picks with really good guys, which we're good at. Pascal Siakam, different players that we've drafted late in the first round that have turned out to be amazing and stuff like that. So it's an interesting thing. I don't value the draft as much as a lot of people do. Like, when people say, oh, we traded a draft pick for Thad Young, I'm like, that's fine. In some ways we need more of what Thad brings with veteranship than just like more youth, which is what we have a glut of right now. We have a lot of youth and we don't have enough vets. So we gave up a little bit of like draft pick for a vet. And that's actually paying off much better to me. You guys give all the flowers to Monique for sure. Monique is also saying, Danny, wait, hang on. That's what I thought about the roster tonight too, Lex. I'm talking about like just like in general, everybody helping out in different ways. Paul B saying some closure on the ring. I'm super happy for Danny. Loved him as a Raptor. We won a ring. Now that he gets to see the next. It's crazy that he won another ring since, and he got traded twice. And he was all over the place, and then he got the ring. And it just shows how much time has passed since we won the championship. And like I said, it's just really nice to finally get that last beat of the 2019 championship and seeing him get the ring and stuff like that. It's just really important for some of the guys on our team this year that were nowhere near that championship year, and to see what it's like and stuff like that. I really think that was powerful. And when they showed Scotty seeing the whole thing going down, I was like, this is really good for Scotty. This is something he needed to see and be a part of and be here today to see it. And I'm glad Danny got delayed so that it happened last night. Is just really good. Yeah, Danny Green forever. I'm okay with Danny. I'm not a huge Danny Green fan. I liked him when he played for us. He's kind of like on and off. He's a streak shooter also. And he was only here for 1 year. And I know he was important to our championship and stuff like that, but I'm not a huge Danny Green fan. Like, he's not one of my favorite Raptors, but I'm okay with him. I don't hate him either. And I think it was kind of cool that he did another Inside the Green Room in the rec room with Chris Boucher the night before the game last night. I'll be interested to see that Danny Green Inside the Green Room episode with Chris Boucher live at the rec room from Wednesday night. Should be pretty good. Paul B saying, I'm still in camp that I wish JV got a ring. Me too. See, that's somebody I really feel like him and DeMar both, to me, needed to and deserve rings still. I want to see DeMar DeRozan and Jonas Valanciunas get NBA championship rings somehow, some way in their path in the league, for sure. I'm with that. Paul B saying, thanks for keeping it real. You always be you. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Paul. You too, buddy. Race Mode Daily. Wow. Let's go, freaks. Yes, race mode. Banana Bread Tan saying, wow, look at my guy getting emotional. Dude, I do get emotional about stuff. I have a really deep heart and feelings about things. And I am in a weakened state from COVID ravaging my body this week. So, yeah, I thought this is how it was going to be on Sunday when I was doing the preview for the Kyle Lowry game. But that day was such a weird day. It was fucked up in different ways that I had no emotion to put towards the Kyle Lowry thing. Whereas like now, last night, when I saw him getting his ring, I was like, man, we won a championship. And it reminded me of all that all over again and made it real. And it just was real. I got really teared up by seeing Pascal and Fred being the two that gave him the ring. That is like a brotherhood and a friendship that goes beyond basketball, that these guys achieve to that level. And that's really what got me emotional. And then realizing Scotty was watching, that made me real emotional too. But yeah, you know what? Listen, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'll either get angry, I'll be upset, or I'll be sad. Like I can't hide it. That's why I don't play poker, because I have no poker face. You'll know exactly whether I have a good hand or not, as I can't play poker. You'll know. Duke Rocks is saying Danny Green also gifted his 2019 championship jacket to Scotty. Danny said he likes the kid's game and had a chat with him pre and post game. It's actually interesting. He gave him that jacket at the preseason, like the game I went to, the first game of the preseason. He actually gave him that jacket then. So Scotty's had that championship jacket this whole season on the down low and been running around wearing it from time to time. In fact, I think I had seen pictures of him wearing it, and I'm like, why is Scotty wearing a championship jacket from our 2019 year? Well, Danny Green had given it to him. He said he lent it to him for the season to wear. And I love Danny for that. In some ways, Danny, what the fuck are you doing? You're hurting your own team because you're encouraging our young rookie to beat y'all's ass in the playoffs. Yeah, that may backfire on Sixers Nation, that Danny Green let him lend him that championship jacket. And those jackets are badass. I would love to have one of those jackets with all the names on there, and they have the certain one, and they had different logos for different guys, whether it's like their country's flag or something like that, and just the whole design of it, the black, and I like the inside was orange and stuff like that. Those jackets were just awesome. And Danny, you're an idiot. You should want that jacket and keep it, but giving it to Scotty is pretty badass and pretty cool in itself. And I love that there's some sort of camaraderie with it. It may be that maybe Danny Green is trying to buy some good faith with Scotty Barnes because he knows he's about to take over this entire league. He's like, I know you're going to destroy us all. Please remember me for giving you this jacket before you destroy us all, obliterate the whole league. Yeah, remember me. I gave you a jacket, kind of thing. I think that might be what's going on there. But yeah, really awesome to see that interaction, dude, between Danny Green and Scotty Barnes. Very interesting that that's happening. And we're seeing that a little bit. Like Kyle Lowry had a little bit of an interesting connection to Scotty from the game on Sunday and some of the things he said about him and stuff like that. We're seeing that from former Raptors who care about the Raptors team still, and they love seeing a good franchise player coming up in our team. It's so good. Monique saying, as always, we won the Kyle Lowry trade, Miami. You watching Precious. Yes. And even like some Miami fans, some of them are saying that Precious might be better than Bam Adebayo eventually. I think that's crazy. But yeah, Miami, you guys were we won that trade. We're going to get Goran back too. And it's like, we traded you for nothing. Well, like I said at the beginning of the season, this package that we got in return for Kyle Lowry was Precious, with the packing peanuts were Goran. He was just a part of getting that package here safely. And we threw that package out with the packing peanuts, which was Goran, and we got that precious load, that precious commodity that we wanted. And that was what Masai Ujiri was gearing towards. He's like, all right, let me try and think about how I could slant this or make this an advantage for the Raptors, how much Miami really wants Kyle Lowry. Well, I really like Precious Achua. And this was part of the reason why last season they didn't do a sign and trade in the middle of the season. The only way we could get Precious was to hold off and have it go down the way it did with the sign and trade in the summer. And that was the whole thing. Like Masai was stubborn and said, we are only giving you Kyle Lowry if you give us Precious Achua. And that maybe the deal during the season that might have possibly could have happened around the trade deadline would not have been possible to have Precious at that time for whatever reason. It could be because of his rookie contract and things like that. And that was the reason why it went down the way it was. And it was Masai was holding off and making sure that Precious was involved in the deal for sure. That deal was not going to happen. Kyle Lowry wasn't going to go nowhere unless Precious Achua was coming back towards us. And that's the brilliance and the trusting in Masai and Bobby Webster to get the job done the correct way. And it's true. It really is going to look more and more as the years go on. Like right away, Miami fans are like, oh, we won this deal with Lowry. Well, Lowry, how many more years does he have? And how many years does Precious have? And how many years are those levels going to be like all-star or maybe even possibly all NBA level kind of play that Precious could possibly get to with his potential? I'm just saying, we won this deal. Monique is right. We won this deal, Miami. You did not win this Kyle Lowry deal. And you're realizing it now because you see what Precious can actually do. Evelyn's saying, why is Scotty B ranked third by the NBA? That's not true. They should look at the stats. I don't know, and I don't understand this either. It's really biased, fucked up, weird NBA rookie ladder ranking is stupid. In some ways, I don't even want to look at it. Hopefully, reality will just win out, and the voters are in reality, and they're not necessarily checking the NBA rookie ladder to decide who they should pick. They're doing their own eye test, their own research, looking at their own stats, and figuring it out that way, because that's the way it should be. But yeah, I don't like that the NBA's own NBA.com website is still putting Scotty at third. That's so fucked up and wrong. It should not be that way. There's no way he's third. There's no way at this point. All right, let's go. Way to go, Mo. Let's go. Yeah, keep showering Mo with the flowers for the Google Pixel commercial. Such a badass accomplishment, Monique, for sure. Raymond Jacobs saying at Evelyn, U.S. media needs to push players they can make money off of, but don't worry, Scotty will win. I think so, too. He should. Pauline Prince, good to see another new name. The Raps front office has been trying to acquire Thad Young for years. He's not going anywhere. And when he retires, he needs to join the Raps coaching staff. That's interesting. Yeah, you know what? I think you're right because like we have coveted him for a few years and we finally landed him. Why would we not try and get him onto another contract for next season? It's really kind of like they wanted to see if it'll fit, and it looks like it's fitting. So yeah, I think you're right that it could be that. That's the thing. It's like him and Chris are the two main free agents that we need to figure out for this offseason. Chris Boucher and Thad Young. And we'll see. I think you're right. I think that it's worked out really well. He's a good culture fit, and that it wouldn't make any sense if we didn't try and keep him for next season. It may be that the deal's not exactly what he wanted. I don't know. He's making $11 million this year, and that's a lot of salary kind of in a way tied up for what he does in some ways. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes this summer. Trust in Bobby and Masai. I'm sure they'll do all right. But I think you're right, Pauline. I think that they will probably keep him and hold on to him. And I don't mind him hanging around and being a coach eventually also. We'll see. We'll see if that's what he wants to do in his own life. I know that he does a lot of like coaching camps and stuff like that. And it may be that he wants to go and do his own company and not work with the Raptors. But who knows? It could be that if he has an opportunity to become an NBA coach starting with the Raptors, then he just goes right into that from his playing career. So we'll have to see. That's very interesting. And you know what? You're right. We have coveted him for a long time. It wouldn't make any sense. We finally land him, and then we let him walk in the offseason. So Monique's saying Pascal All-NBA Siakam incoming. Yeah, we keep getting it out there. He's proven it. 2 triple-doubles in the last 8 days. That's a lot. That's a lot of evidence right there. Paul B saying we lost the Lowry return, but we won the Danny Green game. Even Stevens. Oh, man, I don't know if that's equal, but, it is what it is. Paul B saying, Danny Green inside job. Fuck yeah. Yeah, listen, Danny didn't look like he was trying to hurt his team. He looked like he was trying to help his team. He hit more threes last night than he's hit all season for the Sixers. Like, he had his very best game as a Sixer last night. And, he hit a lot of threes last night. So he definitely wasn't trying to help us. He was trying to win. And even in the post game afterwards, he looked really disappointed that the Sixers didn't win last night, for sure. Raymond Jacobs saying, Goran packing peanuts. I've never heard anything so savage. It's just the truth. It's like they needed the money to line up. So they had to put some extra packing peanuts in there to make sure that it all was the right weight to fit the weight for the other package going the other way. And it's just that's just how it went. You remember I was saying this at the beginning of the season. I called them the packing peanuts back then too. It's just he just came to make sure the box was safe. That's all. Yeah. All right. Monique saying Nick Nurse overachieved. Let's go, Nick Nurse. Pump for the playoffs, man. So, Monique, you've been talking about Coach of the Year stuff. Like Mutombo got second in the Coach of the Year for G League, which is too bad. He probably should have gotten that. And none of our guys got MVP or something like that. They did all the G League awards in the last couple of days, and we didn't win any of them. So that means we need to go out and just win the championship. And that'll be our award for G League level stuff this year. But yeah, I was, he got second at least. Patrick Mutombo got second in the G League Coach of the Year running. So it is what it is. Duke Rocks is saying, yeah, I didn't get why the Heat got nailed for tampering, and yet the biggest culprit was the Clippers with the Kawhi fiasco. This is in reference to the Kyle Lowry trade. Yes, they got in trouble for that. And definitely, like the whole thing with Steve Ballmer and Doc Rivers visiting Kawhi while he was on our team that year was fucked up. And there should have been some tampering then too. Yeah, I totally agree with this. That I was mystified by that also. Paul B said he looked like Raptors Danny. We developed 76ers Danny just by showing up to our building. Next level. Well, Danny loved playing in Toronto, and the fans loved him. And maybe it is partly our arena and the feel in there and the good vibes that he has, the good memories from that year and stuff. It's weird because he's only played for the Raptors for 1 year, our championship year, and all the highlights really came from the playoff run and different things he did at that time. And you know what? He was a good Raptor and an important Raptor in that year. And it was weird how he left. We didn't really want him after that year. It was really like him and Kawhi really were 1 year rentals, and that's just what it was. Evelyn's saying thanks to Raymond Jacob for the positive note. Yeah, we were building up. Everybody's building each other up here. Slink CYT. Do you think Scotty's going to get robbed for Rookie of the Year? I hope not. I hope that he just wins it. They do the right thing. They take care of him because they really should. Because if they don't, then you know what? Have mercy on their souls. Because he will come back with a vengeance. He'll make them pay for him not getting it. And he'll make them look bad for not giving it to him. Like in the years to come, he's going to look like such a generational, badass, top-level talent that if he doesn't have Rookie of the Year on his resume, people would be like, why the fuck did they give Rookie of the Year to Cade Cunningham when they should have given it to Scotty that year? Something like that. Paul B saying he hit all the clutch shots during the regular season. I would have loved him in Tampa and Serge and Mark. Yeah, that next year – with Danny and Serge, and yeah, last year was just sucked. All right, let me just go real quick over the box score from last night, and then we got to do a preview real quick. So we got a lot to still do. This is a long one today. We shot really even with them, but at halftime we were shooting really badly, and they were shooting like 59%. So that is really good that we ended up shooting just slightly better than them by the end of the game against Philly last night. We got 91 shots to their 75 shots. That's manufacturing almost 20 more shots than the other team. That's through steals and offensive rebounds. That's really good. They shot way too good from three-pointer last night. They were shooting 53% from three last night, 19 of 36, and we shot 45%, which isn't bad, but they got 4 more threes than us. That was definitely an area they were beating us. They got way more free throw attempts than us, and they hit 21 of 25. We were 14 of 18. We didn't shoot horrible at the free throw line, but we could have shot a little bit better. Out-rebounded them by 4. That's not a whole lot, but 12 offensive rebounds to their 6 is really good. The hustle stats were pretty much the same. We had less turnovers than them, which really mattered because they got 25. We got 25 points off their turnovers, 15 points off of our turnovers. So that's a 10-point swing right there. We won by 5 points. That's an important part right there. Having taken care of the ball better than they did overall was a big factor in us winning this game last night. And fast break points, 5 to their 3. They didn't get it on the break at all. And we won the points in the paint. which is a really big deal when you're playing against a guy like Joel Embiid. When you win the points in the paint against the Sixers, it's really good. Now, they had a good balanced attack. It's not like Embiid had a bad game. He did shoot 10 for 22. He had 30 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. That's pretty good. He only got 12 free throws, which is good. We limited trying to foul him. It was really about getting in between him and the basket, just kind of causing disruption to his shot. Then he'll miss it. It's like you don't have to go all the way and foul him. If you're in his face and like kind of put a face and get in between his face and the basket and not get him a good look, he will miss. And that was really a lot of how we did it to him last night. And then Maxey was great. 7 of 11, 4 of 5 from three-pointers. He is a really good player. He's going to be very dangerous down the years to come. 22 points for him, really nasty. And 18 by Danny Green. That's what I'm saying. They got 18 points out of Danny Green, 6 of 9 shooting, 6 of 7 from threes. He has not made 6 threes this season until last night. And you know what? I don't think he's going to be that big of a factor in the playoffs. I'm going to knock on wood and say that if we play them, Danny Green's not going to be going off and doing major things. And then the only other guy that got double digits for them was James Harden on 3 of 12 shooting, and just absolute garbage. 3 turnovers. Embiid had 5 turnovers himself. He did have 15 assists, and that's really what James Harden's become, a glorified point guard at this point. That's all he is. On our side, fantastic game, 50% shooting by Pascal, 14 and 28, 11 rebounds, 12 assists. You know how you avoid the NBA taking away a triple-double from you? Get more than just 10 rebounds or 10 assists. Get a couple extra ones just in case they want to take one away a couple days later. 37 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds, 2 steals. That is a dominant player, dominating the game last night, being the best player on the court last night. When you have an all NBA MVP caliber player like Joel Embiid and then a Hall of Famer like James Harden out there, and Pascal Siakam is the best player out there. Gary Trent, 30 points. Huge game by Gary, 12 of 21. That's fantastic shooting, 5 of 8. He was on last night, and I love seeing that from Gary. 20 points from Precious, 5 of 7, 7 of 11 shooting, 5 of 7 from 3. Just a great shooting performance by Precious last night. Some great defense at different times. And Scotty, he the only other guy who got in double digits, 13 points, 6 of 12. He didn't have anything at half. It was all in the second half that he started to come on. 13 points, 10 rebounds. Great job by Scotty. And, Kem had a really important basket right at the beginning of the game where he got an offensive rebound put back that kind of set the tone for us getting on the boards. And I really appreciate that by Kem. It was his only basket, but it was important. Thad Young didn't shoot well last night, 2 of 10, but he did get one important 3 at an important time. He had some really important rebounds, and he had 3 steals. Like Thad Young getting 3 steals is a big deal. Boucher was a little off once again. He has not been playing that great recently, but he did get 3 blocks, 7 points, 1 3-pointer. Just okay. He didn't play a super lot. And then Malachi with the 4-point play. That was fantastic. I love seeing him get in there and get something good feelings happening for him. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's get back to the comments for a sec, and then I'll do the preview for tonight. Monique saying, thanks everyone for the love on the Google Pixel. Have to keep things on the down low. If you know, until things get released, media side life. Yeah, that's to say, listen, she's Hollywood. She's got projects that's going down. She's got to wait for them when they're under wraps. Then she can reveal everything to us. She has some big things coming on. I'm sure there's more to come from Monique, and that she's just got to be proprietary and be quiet about it until it all gets presented and revealed. I can't wait to see what's next, Monique. I really can't, because this year has been your year. This year you have just blossomed into so many different things with the Raptors organization, and I'm so proud of you. You keep going, Monique. You keep going. You go, girl. Yeah. Duke Rocks is saying, just curious, what site do you go to get your basketball data, box scores, stats? Duke, I'm using ESPN to do the box score, like what I just did just now. I'm using basically the ESPN website. I use that to check on injuries. I use it also to do all my pregame research is basically ESPN.com. I'll go and look, and they have it all laid out real easy. I can go look and see, like, I'll be talking about how Houston has been losing a lot lately. Like, they're on a crazy losing streak right now. And I'll go check the injury report on ESPN. So that's really where I'm looking at it. In general, I like to use Basketball Reference for a lot of stuff that I do, for like maybe for the trivia stuff or history stuff for the Raptors. I go to a Basketball Reference website that has all the stats for the whole entire NBA for its whole history. That's a really good website also. So yeah, it's ESPN.com. That's what I'm using. Evelyn saying, I think I'm the oldest subscriber of you, Lex. I love your content. I feel so at home. So guys, just call me Granny. Granny Eve. I'll be 68 years old this August. Have a nice weekend and be safe. Oh, Evelyn, thank you. Yeah, you're one of the beginning people for sure. I remember when you came in, and that's awesome. I love that I'm appealing to all different ages. I know I'm marked that I'm not for kids in the morning, but I'm sure there's some kids out there watching the dirty words and things I'm saying and stuff like that. Maybe they're asking their parents who Ron Jeremy is and stuff like that. I don't know. But I really appreciate that, Evelyn. And it's nice to hear that I have a granny who's following me and stuff like that. So much love, Evelyn. And I hope you have a great weekend also. Let's get a good win against Rockets tonight. Yeah. Monique saying Gary heating up for the playoffs. When Gary hits his shots, we win. And oh, yeah. Paul B saying that. Yeah, when Gary's on, he's a great weapon for us to have. But it's also interesting that he's not absolutely essential for the Raptors to be successful. It's almost like he's an extra tank that we can just kick in and he can help out on the extra. If he's not showing up and nobody else is showing up, then there's a problem. But that's not usually the case. We've got at least somebody doing something, whether it's Fred, Pascal, OG, Scotty, Precious, Gary. Somebody is always carrying water for the Raptors, and that is important and good for our team. All right, let's switch it gears a little bit here and go into a preview mode for the Houston game tonight. Like I said, let's start with the injuries. Houston has really shut down their team for the rest of the season. These guys are out for the rest of the season. Dennis Schroeder, Eric Gordon, Christian Wood, and of course, John Wall never showed up. So it's really their team is looking like Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Garrison Matthews, Jayshawn Tate, Alperen Sengun, Josh Christopher, David Nwamba, Kenyon Martin Jr., Usman Garuba. These are all young players that aren't that good, and we should be able to school them tonight. And like I said, they've been losing quite a bit. They've lost their last 5 games in a row, including 2 games to Sacramento. And, we have no business losing to them at this point. We need to just make sure that they lose out, especially coming up against us. On our side of the ball, let's see who's injured right now. I think they're still listing Yuta. Fred VanVleet's day-to-day. I don't think Fred will play tonight. Yuta will miss tonight also. And OG is going to miss tonight also. They're already saying OG's out for tonight, which makes complete sense. And Nick Nurse said in the press conference that he expects OG to play against New York on Sunday at least. So Monique's saying, let's the season for Jamal McGlure. Enjoy him while he's here. Yeah, we will do some good things for our team before Jamal departs and takes an executive job with the CEBL. And congratulations to him for sure. All right, next part of it. Just real quick, Banana Bread Tan. I think Danny really liked Toronto. He was a packing peanut. We got him. Yeah, he was kind of a packing peanut. We got him to keep Kawhi comfortable, but himself, he knew nothing. He was loving our Toronto vibes, is what I remember. Yeah, I agree with that too. The Danny really enjoyed his 1 year in Toronto, and in some ways, he's such a mercenary in my eyes. Like he's just jumped around. He has a lot of championship rings at this point. I mean, he's won a ring with San Antonio. He's won a ring with us. I think he won a ring with Cleveland. He won a ring with the Lakers. He has like 4 rings with 4 different teams or something like that. So, I got to respect him for that he's a mercenary. He's kind of like Bob Horry or John Sally, these guys who went around and got rings for a whole bunch of different teams. But in some ways also, he's not really like a guy like Morris Peterson or Norman Powell to me, like, because he didn't have enough time here to really ingratiate himself. And, in some ways, he is a mercenary. And, like, I didn't like that he went got a Lakers championship with LeBron after he left us and stuff like that. So it's tough. I like the guy as a person. He's cool and stuff like that. But in some ways, he's not one of my favorite Raptors because he's a mercenary, is basically what I'm calling. Scott B is saying, who the MVP now, NBA? For you guys on NBA Today, his name is Pascal Siakam, all NBA All-Star. That's right. Charles Barkley, say his name over and over again, Pascal Siakam, until you get it correct. Say OG Anunoby until you get it correct. Learn our players' names. Paul B saying just 3 rings for threes. Okay, he's won 3 rings. He did not win a ring with Cleveland before when he was there. Okay. All right. Thanks for clarifying that, Paul. I do need fact checkers because sometimes I'm just going off the top of my head. And Chris Boucher has almost as many. Yeah, that's right. Chris has 2, right? At least 2. Maybe he has 3. Scott B said, Danny handled his business here in Toronto. He left, but he never disrespected our city and our fans for that. And the ring, of course. Thank you, Danny, for everything. You're a stand-up guy. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Patrick McCaw is the guy with the 3 rings, Paul. But yeah, I agree with that, Scott, that Danny was very professional all the way along. And I think that what happened after the championship year, that he just wasn't in our plans for the next year, that he wasn't somebody that we valued to bring back. And that's what I remember. That he may have wanted to continue to come back to Toronto, that I don't think we made an offer to him. And that was right, because they were kind of trying to figure out the Kawhi sweepstakes. And Danny got kind of burned by Kawhi waiting so long, because he was trying to figure out what Kawhi was going to do in relation with us. And that if he was going to stay with us, Danny was going to stay with us also. But then when Kawhi said, oh, I'm going to go to the Clippers, it kind of screwed Danny Green, and it made him kind of have to go to the Lakers because they were the only team that was still had money and were really trying to get people at the last minute. So Danny had to go to the Lakers then. So Kawhi kind of screwed Danny Green during that whole free agency period when Kawhi was trying to decide what he was going to do. So, yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah. Yeah, he declined a Mavs deal for more money because of what possibly being back here with us in Toronto to repeat is what was going on there. Pascal's 5th in the MVP voting. That's fantastic, Monique. I didn't realize that. 49-win season. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. We had 10 games to go in the rest of the season, and I was saying we win out, we get 50 wins. Well, if we're on track to get 49, that means we only missed 1 game. It was that Miami Kyle Lowry return game, and we're going to win 9 out of the last 10. We got to take care of business and take care of these last 2 slouches, but that's the way it's looking. That we're going to be 49 with our win total, and that means that we won 9 out of our last 10 games going out. And that's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. I'm so proud of them for doing this. And that if the only game we lost in that last 10 games is the Kyle Lowry welcome home game, hey, I'm okay with that. That is a really good accomplishment. Really, really good. Yeah, Paul B is saying, yeah, because he thought he could pair up with Kawhi wherever he went. He was kind of watching to see what Kawhi was going to do and kind of going along with that. DJ saying, I also heard Scotty ask Danny Green for a jacket and got it. Adorable. Yeah, apparently, like I said, he gave it to him in the preseason of this season. So Scotty's been holding on to that championship jacket this whole season. In fact, I do remember him wearing it earlier this season and seeing him. And I'm like, why does Scotty have a championship jacket? And then why is it Danny Green's jacket? Is like what I was saying, because I saw it. And I'm like, those are one-of-a-kind jackets that Drake had made by OVO for our champions. So there's only one jacket that has that says Danny Green and has the American flag next to it in the world. And I was like, why has Scotty got that jacket? And now that all has been revealed, that Danny gave it to him at the beginning of the season, he's had it this whole time. You can go back and look at pictures from like in November or December, and Scotty's wearing that jacket then. Like, I remember seeing him wearing a championship jacket earlier in the season. It's really crazy. But yeah, it's pretty adorable. It's pretty cool. I like it too. Paul B said, I wonder what Flynn and Armani could do together. Yeah, them together on the court together. That's an interesting little like attack in different ways. It really depends on the matchup. Like if somebody's playing 2 small guards against us, that may be a good little combo to put out there. And I'm really interested. I like that Malachi got the minutes last night instead of Armani, because they really do need to show loyalty and show faith in Malachi because he's been here longer that he's still higher on the pecking order. Even though Armani's come in and he's the new flavor of the month, and people meet me like, "Oh, Armani, Armani." Well, Malachi has more time in our system and with the other guys, so he is higher on the ladder in some ways, and that's why I'm glad he was getting minutes last night instead of Armani because there is still a pecking order of things, and that Malachi didn't really lose his spot. It's just that he got hurt and that he had to sit for a little while. So it's just kind of like that. Scott B saying another stand-up move for sure, and Scotty appreciates it. Yeah, listen, the love and respect for Scotty Barnes this season by different veterans, all NBA Hall of Famers, everybody, Kyle Lowry, Kevin Durant, all these guys are saying things. LeBron James, they realize this guy's going to be dangerous. And maybe they want to get a little good faith with him before he comes out and destroys them all when he fully realizes all of his powers. Because he is going to come out and destroy this league. He's going to be one of the most dominant players in the NBA in the next 10 years, Scotty Barnes. That all the signs are there. He has all the tools. He has the aptitude. He has the desire. He has the skill. He's going to do this. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's when it's going to happen, and it's going to happen faster than people realize. Also, because he's fast tracking. He's going to be a 1-year rookie. Next year, he's already a veteran. He's not going to be a 2-year player. He's going to be a 2-year veteran. Somebody who's already playing at a vet level in his second year as an NBA player. It's amazing. It's going to be so good. All right, let's see. But he's got like 3, right? Maybe Danny's the GOAT. Yeah, he's got 3 championship rings, but he doesn't have free OVO jackets. So I don't know. That's weird. It's so weird that he gave him to it. But hey, whatever. Give it to Scotty. That's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. Maybe Danny's the GOAT. That's interesting. Paul B saying Scotty jammed it so hard on Danny in the preseason. That's when he knew he had it right there. Yeah, he probably did. And that game, from what I remember, I think that's right. Monique saying the thing about Thad, stop jacking threes. Yeah, his threes kind of bug me at times in some ways. Like he's not the option we want. Like if they're allowing him to shoot threes, he's too contested. I don't like him shooting it. He has to be wide open. And he has to have his feet set right too. I don't like if he's kind of lurching or moving. He has to be really already set and shoot it. Because if he's moving, he's going to miss it. And yeah, I agree with this, Monique. It's like I like Chris Boucher jacking threes. That's fine. I like Precious jacking threes, but Thad not totally yet. Like he's good at it in some ways, but he has to be really set. He can't be moving at all. DJ saying you were the ultimate fan, dude. Sure, the team loves you. I appreciate that, DJ. I don't know if these guys see me someday and they see what we're saying and how we're trying to support them and build them up. And hopefully, yeah, they will be like, oh, these guys are real ones here. The Raptor Freak channel, the Raptor Freak cult, these are real fans that really support us. And they'll defend us in social online engagements in different places, on online places where people are slighting them. We will come in and fight the fight with words and comments against them for the Raptors in whatever place it is. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Scott B saying, I think we're about to see a lot of Flynn 4-point play to touch the ball. I'd love to see more Malachi. I think tonight we'll definitely see more Malachi tonight and some Armani also. They should hopefully maybe Malachi starts the game tonight because we have players sitting out, enough guys sitting out tonight that they got to put more guys from the bench into the starting lineup, and we're just going to play deeper because it's Houston. Come on, Houston. They're horrible. They're horrible. We need to beat their ass. They don't have Christian Wood. Christian Wood is their most dangerous player. He's not playing tonight for sure. Scott B's also saying, what about Scotty's massive dunk on Embiid? They called back legendary play. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. It's like the NBA, you want to reward superstars in badass plays like that. That should not have been an offensive foul. That would be, if that was LeBron James, that wouldn't have been an offensive foul in that same situation. And then the technical on top of it was just egregious afterwards. It's like the dude's showing enthusiasm and that he really cares. And all he did was run out the court holding his head. Like, why did you give him a tech for that? It's because you're saying you showed up the ref with your physical reaction. That's fucked up bullshit. It's such bullshit. Monique saying Scotty Roy all the way. Yes, I agree with that. Ken Ace here. He's saying we will go deep into the bench tonight for sure. Yeah, I agree with this, and I want them to. This may be the last chance for Svi Mihalik and Yuta Watanabe to show that they're dependable, important players to have on this team. You guys need to go out and take that brass ring tonight and really show it. Svi, go out there and get 20 points. Like get 5 3-pointers somehow, some way. Do it, Svi, because it'll make some good faith and maybe possibly trying you out in the playoffs in situational situations where we need somebody like your skill set. So we'll have to see. Scott B saying, great spot to come talk about the game. I don't always catch you, but I always listen to the replay. Great fans, great hosts. I appreciate that, Scott B. And if you are replaying me after the fact and I'm not live, watch me at 1.25 speed. A long 2-hour live stream like the one I've done already today will go by faster if you watch me at 1.25 speed. All right, let's do the next part of the preview for tonight, the ref check, y'all. I've gone and looked at the referees for tonight. We have an interesting crew. We have a very long-time crew member for 20 years as our crew chief. Is Courtney Kirkland is back again tonight. We had him recently. I think we lost the game that he reffed the last time he reffed. He's got 23 seasons as a ref. His favorite TV show is Martin. His favorite movie is Friday. I love that movie, Friday. It's so good. But Courtney is not a kind ref to us historically. We have a .427 win percentage when he's refereeing. That's worse than Rodney Mott. That's worse than Tony Brothers. That's worse than Ed Malloy. That's worse than Scott Foster. So he is one of the worst 20-year vets for our team winning percentage. So Courtney Kirkland is our crew chief tonight. Carl Lane is our referee. He has been reffing for 12 years. His favorite TV show is Power. His favorite movies are the Star Wars movies, and he likes Jay-Z. He also likes Star Wars books. So he's a big Star Wars fan, Carl Lane. And our record under him as a referee is actually pretty good, guys. It's .568. Not bad. That's like a pretty good win percentage. And so I like Carl Lane. And then our last ref is the least experienced ref on the crew is Jason Goldenberg. And Jason Goldenberg's been a ref for about 6 years. He's from Georgia, also like Courtney Kirkland. His favorite TV show is Curb Your Enthusiasm. I got to dig that. That's great taste in TV shows. Curb Your Enthusiasm is a great show. Favorite movie is Tommy Boy with, whatchamacallit, with Chris Farley. That's so good. And his favorite musician is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So Jason Goldenberg is the young ref in this crew. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have a new album out. It's actually really good, guys. I haven't liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers since the 90s, and they actually have a really good new record out that's really good, actually. So check that out. And our win percentage under Jason Goldenberg is fantastic, y'all. Honestly, there's one ref we've never lost a game reffing under, and that's Matt Callio. He's the only Canadian ref. We've won 100% of our games that he's reffed. And Jason Goldberg is number 2 on the list of refs that have been very kind to us. Our win percentage when Jason Goldberg is reffing is .867, y'all. .867 when that guy is involved in the game. That's fantastic. So hopefully the young ref and the middle ref will help us out more than Courtney Kirkland. The crew chief is a little bit against us, but the other 2 guys are good refs. So hopefully it works out for us in the end. So there's your ref report for tonight. That's who we got. No Tony Brothers, no Ed Malloy, none of that crap. But Jason Goldberg, thank you. Come on in and ref a good game for the Raptors. Oh, yeah. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying. Monique's saying his dad saved his life. Malachi is. I don't think so. I think his dad made his life worse. Like, honestly, he was probably telling his dad to shut the fuck up. Please stop, Dad. I'm trying. He's working hard on the down low, and then his dad's being an asshole and getting him in worse trouble with the fans and just different things. He called Nick Nursery this season. Come on, Eric Flynn. Just be quiet. You're doing Malachi a disservice anytime you get on social media and you start talking some garbage. You've done this twice in his 2 years as a Raptor, and we can't have you have an annual Eric Flynn blow up. We do not want this. And, you're doing a disservice to your son when you do that kind of stuff, for sure. Yeah, I don't think his dad saved his life. His dad made his life more miserable is what he did. Paul B saying the Charlotte down 12 with 5 minutes left comeback in the preseason, the Decker and Flynn show. Raptors destroying Celtics, home opener in front of their legends. Our champ season has great moments. Yes, this season has had very interesting different times. That game you're talking about, the Celtics game, the second game of the season, fantastic. That game against Milwaukee after the game against Detroit the night before, that was an absolute fantastic, important game. This game against Cleveland, where we turned the tide and got out of the play-in and got into the playoffs, that was a huge key game. The game last night is another one, beating Philadelphia and proving that we won the series 3-1 and that we can own them in the playoffs. That was a huge, important game. There's been important games throughout the season at different times. Fantastic stuff that the Raptors have done. The overachieving against Denver and Phoenix 2 nights in a row on the road. That is fantastic also. So many good moments this season, Paul. One of the best seasons the Raptors have had. One very enjoyable season for Raptor fans like us, for sure. Scott B saying, I don't mind taking the time. Way more refreshing to listen than NBA Today. Yeah, all right. Appreciate that, man. Hey, no problem. I've even had some people watch me at 1.75 speed, but I don't understand how they can understand me because I already talk fast in regular time at 1.75 speed. That I don't know how you can understand me. Paul B saying, I think I want to be friends with that ref. My wife's favorite movie is Tommy Boy. Yeah, Jason Goldberg seems like a cool dude. He's from Atlanta. He still lives in Atlanta. He went to University of Georgia, class of 2007. His favorite book is Ego is the Enemy. His favorite meal is chicken parmesan. His favorite app is NBA app. He would most like to visit Australia. And his bucket list is to sail around the world in a mega yacht. That's a little weird. But anyway, yeah, he seems like an all right guy. Curb Your Enthusiasm is an awesome show. Awesome show. Great show. All right, let's keep going. DJ saying Thad runs an investment in a trucking company. I can see him in recruiting for management in the future. Maybe has the eye. Yeah, he does. Like he runs like training camps and like he had the AAU program that found OG Anunoby. Remember? He keeps talking about I had 2 guys in my AAU program that I run, and they were OG and Terrence Davis. So it's like he's got a lot of different things on the burners on his stove. But it may be that he has too much going on in his personal life with the trucking company and different things like that for him to be a full-time NBA coach. But we'll see how it all shakes out. It could be very interesting, and it may be that he's the kind of guy who could be a good NBA coach and stuff like that, because it does seem like he's that kind of teammate and stuff, and he does help like in the practices. Like he makes sure everybody in the crowd in the team gets what Nick Nurse and them are trying to get across. And if it seems like somebody's shaky about it, he asked Nick to repeat himself and really reiterate what he's trying to say so that he makes sure everybody is actually getting it and sinking in and stuff like that. Thad Young does that kind of stuff in tape rooms and in preparation rooms for like games and stuff. Raymond Jacobs saying we win 100% with the Canadian ref. I wonder why. We need more Canadian refs. Yeah, it's weird. Matt Callio, we have won every single time. Now get it, it's a small sample size. I think we've only had him ref 3 or 4 games, but every single time we've won that game when he's been involved. So that's good. And so, yeah, I don't know. We need more Canadian refs for sure. Monique saying, listen to Raptors Today. Randy Urban is awesome, Scott B. Yeah, I've been watching those guys. I do watch Randy in the nightcap, and I also watch the Raptors Today with Savannah Hamilton and Paul and Sherman Hamilton and stuff like that. That's great content being put out more often by the Raptors on their channel. They didn't do this kind of stuff last season. They're doing it more this year. And I love that after every game, we get a Raptors nightcap with Randy sitting there with Paul and Leo and and Jack and Amy Audibert and stuff like that. Those are fantastic. And then the stuff that Savannah Hamilton does with the Raptors Today, like keeping things caught up with that kind of stuff is really good too. I'm just enjoying in general, the regular Raptors like content these days is really good. And that's stuff I actually do watch and keep up with because I like our pundits and I like it because it's a focus on our team and our people talking about it. And I will watch them, but I like to watch them. Like I won't watch the nightcap like from last night. I didn't watch it yet because I don't want to repeat anything in my recap of the game that I might have heard them say. But I'll watch it this afternoon in between and see what they said about the Philadelphia game. Randy and Jack and all them and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a great plug, Monique. I love the Raptors official channels content with Savannah Hamilton and Randy Urban. They're great. Paul B saying the Miami Heat triple overtime with the 6 dudes was unreal game of the year. Yeah, that's another one. We can point to how many classic badass games there were. Maybe that's what I'll do for Flashback Friday this summer is I'll flash back to some of the badass, amazing games we had this past season and how amazing they were. Like that is one we didn't even mention just now, and that may have been the game of the year. There's so many good, important, badass Raptor wins this season for sure. Paul B's also saying Raptors destroying Lakers, then Westbrook, Luck, iconic moments. Yes, the game in LA that we won against the Lakers, fantastic. There's all kinds of different ones. Paul's just listing them off right now. Scotty missing 4 easy layups at All-Star competition. Yeah, the skills competition. That was hilarious. There's a lot of good, iconic, different things going on right now. Scott B saying, I watch all that. And Alex and NBA Chev is a lot of content perfect, so we don't have to listen to the other shit. Yes, exactly. Because this is the thing. We watch too much ESPN. We watch too much U.S. origin-based Raptors content. They're going to slight us. They're going to gaslight us. They're going to make us have seedlings of doubt put into our heads. And that's part of what makes our Raptor fan nation half cynical, half negative, half putting us down, because they're just parroting stupid shit that they hear from down south that's biased against the Raptors. So it's like they're a tool for the U.S. media in some ways, some of the Raptor fans, because they get too much of that content and it's programming them to hate the Raptors subliminally down low. That is the messed up thing. And even the Canadian media was programming us to hate the Raptors subliminally also, for nefarious reasons. And I've talked about that too. It has to do with the NHL and hockey and protecting hockey from basketball getting too big in Canada, that they would try. And there's different things like that that's happened, but it's all over now. We're running, the secret's out. The positive Raptor fans are here now with this channel, and it's all over now. We're going to bust this open, and this is going to be all problems of the past. That going forward in the future, we're going to have a strong fan nation that's positive, doesn't infight, isn't toxic, isn't tearing down our players, isn't calling for our coach's head just because of a couple losses, that has a real grounded reality and sense of perspective for what we're doing with our team long-term and short-term, and that we're not going to turn on our guys anymore. That era of Raptor fandom and fan nation is over, and the Raptor Freak cult is going to kill it. We're going to kill it. Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. DJ saying Banana Bread Tan, you're bang on. Paul B saying Scotty versus LeBron at Staples, and he has a hook shot over him from a mile away. Yes, there's so many great moments. Paul B, we're going to have to do so many top 10 countdowns for so many different things, whether it's dunks, whether it's impressive Raptor wins this season, whether it's Scotty B, incredible, like growing highlights, stuff like that. Scott B saying, ESPN Dick Jefferson has become comical, and they get made to look more stupid every time Raptors wins. It's hilarious. Well, that's the thing. We're credibility busters. We will check your credibility, and ESPN analysts. You better get it right. You better really be checking it. Like if you were the weatherman, you kept telling us it was going to rain, and it didn't rain over and over again. We think you're shitty at your job. That maybe you should be fired from being a weather person because you just can't get the weather right. And I think that's what's happening with some of these analysts, that in particular with the Raptors, and the way they look at them and they discount them and they don't look at them realistically, that maybe your credibility is shot, and that maybe you should be looking for another job, and maybe you shouldn't be involved in talking about the NBA because you're not looking at it with clear eyes. You're not seeing the reality of who the Toronto Raptors are. And you can't keep saying this over and over again every year that, they surprised us. They overachieved us. When are you just going to fucking say that this is a year in, year out playoff team and we need to expect them to win and do very well every year? You need to start saying that. ESPN, NBA Today, TNT, all y'all need to start saying the same thing, because we have proven this. How many? 8 out of the last 9 years we're in the playoffs. And every single preseason before that, you said we weren't going to do shit. And you've been wrong every single time. So it's like, if you were a weatherman, you get fired already by now. So it's like, come on. Jeez, what is this? All right, let's keep going. Monique saying the good thing about Danny Green yesterday after the game, he posted everything from last night in his IG story. Yeah, Danny. Look, as much as we had a Lowry love fest, we had a Danny Green love fest this week also last night, and I wasn't expecting this to be so awesome, and it was. It was really awesome. Like I said, seeing Pascal and Fred bring him that box was a really heart wrenching moment for me, and it made me realize 2019 and how badass it was for us and stuff like that. All right, let's keep going. Paul B saying both games were epic, and how dare Trey Young not call us talented? Who the fuck is he? Yeah, I don't know. The Hawks are pretenders in a lot of ways. Like if we had to play the Hawks in a game, 7-game series, we'd kick their fucking living shit out of them. Like they wouldn't even have a chance against us. I'm sorry. Because they have no defense. They have no defense at all. So how the fuck are they going to stop Pascal, OG, Gary, Precious, Scotty, Fred all at once? They're not going to be able to. So yeah, the Hawks are somebody that I don't listen to at all. Like whatever they're saying. And especially Trey Young, whatever, dude. Listen, you're lucky, man. You're lucky. We beat your ass this week. Brian's here. Good to see Brian. After Game Essentials, Raptor Freak, Chev, Chris's Sports Center, the Raptor Show, Will Lou. All right. I love that company you're putting me in there with, Brian. I really appreciate it. That's a high compliment to be in the same sentence as some of those entities that you just named right there. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And keep watching. I promise to bring more and more smiles and good stuff coming towards y'all. Scott B saying Danny had the game of his life against us. It did seem like, well, at least his game of his season this year. This is his best one. Anselm saying, what up? I'll catch the rest of the show after work. Get the likes up, people. Thanks, Anselm. One of the originals also been here with me all season. Thank you, man. Yeah, come. You'll see it. This is a long stream already. There's a lot of good stuff already in it. You go back, you review it after work later. I hope you enjoy it with whatever you're relaxing with after work today. TGIF, Anselm, and let's get that next win against the Rockets tonight. Oh yeah, Scott B saying I usually stay away from Will Lou, but since he apologized to Chris, I've given him a break. That's good. Yeah, I haven't been watching Will Lou's show as much as I probably should. Once again, it's just because I don't want to cross over with being too much like other pundits that are talking about the Raptors and stuff like that. I really want my own original voice. And I know that if I listen to Chev and Will Lou and different people too much, I might echo them too much. And I don't want to be a copycat. I want to be purely straight up Lex. And that's how I got to do it. But yeah, I really have a lot more respect for Will Lou going on that show and apologizing to him. That took a lot of guts, and that's the kind of stuff we need more of in society: is ownership of when you make a mistake, ownership of when you fucked up, and like trying to make it right. There's so many people out there that are fucking people over left and right, and they're just blind in their own lies in their own life. And it continues to how they can continually do fucked up shit to other people because they're not owning up to their mistakes or what they're doing to hurt other people. And when people do that and show that side of them, I have a lot of respect and love for them. So a lot of respect and love for William Lou for doing the right thing and going on there and showing a great example to everybody about how you take ownership of something and take a real apology and show that you've changed from it. That is important because there's a lot of people doing bad things in this world to other people, and they're just getting away with it, and they're in denial of it. It really takes a lot of self-awareness to understand where you are wrong and making it right. And that's what I'm saying. I love that about Will Lou. Thank you for doing it, Will. Monique's saying, will OG Anunoby ever be healthy? He's out too much. I think that part of what we've done with OG is he's like a secret weapon. He's like on the down low, our heart and soul. And that when we win without him, that's like great. But when he's in there, we really win. Like our win percentage with OG in the lineup is absolutely fantastic. And I don't think it's that. I don't think it's like an Anthony Davis thing. I know it seems like OG has been hurt a lot in his career, whether it's an appendicitis right before the playoffs or different things like that. But I think that right now, what's happening with him presently is really load management on the down low. Like we saw him play at a high level with the broken finger still in the games he played before he sat these last couple of them. He's ready to go. Like they're saying he's going to play on Sunday against New York. He's going to come out there and he's going to look like he didn't miss a beat. And that's all we need is for him to show up. And he doesn't play right now. That's fine. We don't want him to get further hurt or just rest him so that he's absolutely fresh for the first round. And I think that's the strategy with OG right now. That, yeah, he's hurt, but really it's like he's got a bruise in his thigh and he's got a broken finger. And that bruise in his thigh is going to go away before the playoffs start next Saturday. And his finger may not, but that's the thing. The finger's not hindering his shot, which is the most important thing about it. But yeah, I hope that this isn't something we label him with. Like, he doesn't need to be like Anthony Davis, just chronically always injured. And that's not him. He's a strong dude. It's just that we're siding on the side of caution in some ways. And also, maybe it's partly strategic that we can hold him out. And he's really like another whole level that brings our team to something else. And that's one of the reasons why, like, Philly, you're in fucked. We get OG Anunoby back and he's out there running around. It's not going to get easier for y'all. It's going to get way harder. And then what? Fred VanVleet didn't play last night either. You're fucked. You're so fucked. Thibault is not going to matter. Go get his jab today. And hopefully he can show up in time to play us when we play here in Toronto. He's not going to fucking matter, but OG and Fred will. They will matter. And they're going to make it even harder for them to win. Oh, yeah. All right, let's keep going. You guys are so awesome. I have so many people here today. This is really great interaction. Paul B saying, hey, remember that Precious Achua 3 from last night? He's ours. Yeah, that transition 3. It was awesome. DJ saying Danny is a mercenary. Yeah, he is a mercenary. I said that earlier. He's totally a mercenary. He's like a hired gun. The team needs just a little bit of 3-point specialist, a little bit of 3-and-D for championship aspirations. They go and just get him to add on to be that final, like, little bit of a last piece kind of thing. And that's who he is at this point. And yeah, that's how I look at him too. Scott B saying we are playing chess. OG is a huge part of what we do. Scott is echoing what I was just trying to explain, that there's a strategy to holding him out in the game last night. That is, maybe we're not showing our whole hand to the Sixers. So, Doc Rivers is an idiot. If he's not worried about us, he's lying, or he's just an idiot. He either needs to be worried about us on the down low and he's lying, or he's so oblivious and stupid that he deserves to get his ass kicked. Because that's what's going to happen. Oh, yeah. And so I'm saying NBA Chef #1, Raptor Freak #2. Although you're very thorough and provide amazing content. Will Lou #3. Oh, my gosh. I'm ahead of Will Lou. Hey, I don't mind being below Chef. Listen, I'm not even worried about ranking anything. Much like the players, I am only worried about my own development and getting my own wins and doing what I'm doing. I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. I'm going out there to just be a better version of myself every single day that I come on and do a live stream every single day. And that's the thing. You're going to see an evolution over time. If you stick with me and you follow as a subscriber for years to come, you're going to see this channel get better and better. And we're going to remember this first season of me doing the Raptor Freak channel, and it's going to look so weird compared to where we're going to be at in like 2 or 3 years. Watch, seriously, because I'm going to be diligent about this. And like I said, I'm going to be looking for improvements, whether it's getting a better stream quality so that it's not choppy anymore, a better microphone. Maybe I get with Greg, Jubstown Clink, and we start doing some graphics and things. Maybe I get a theme song and get a whole intro. And maybe, we have a little bit more cut down and concise so that I'm not doing 3-hour live streams. And it's a little bit more like pre-produced and in different ways. I am going to be improving this. And that's what I'm saying. I'm in a competition with just myself and getting better and better every single time I do a live stream. But I appreciate that ranking. Like, honestly, it's no slight to me that I'm in between Chev and Will Lou. These guys are top dog NBA Raptor pundits, and I love being in their company. This is so appreciative. In fact, it's kind of a dream that other people think that I'm in with those names, because these are people that I've followed and loved for years already. And I really appreciate that. Scott B saying the pull-up 3 by Precious was insane. He shocked everyone. Yeah, he did. He was like, that is kind of like a knock, knock. I'm here. And it's not just Scotty that's here. I'm here also. You got to pay attention to me also. For real. And some saying those are his picks for best YouTube Raptors channels. I appreciate that once again, to be in that company. And some DAP for sure. Banana Bread Tan saying we're load managing and winning. Can we talk about how much of a workhorse and tireless Siakam is? Yes, that is a really good point. The word tireless. It's like, listen, the man's putting in so many minutes. Like, he's one of the leaders in the whole NBA for minutes in this whole season, and he's not tired. He doesn't look like DeMar and Kyle near the end of seasons where they were heavily played in past years of Raptors basketball, where they looked like they were lagging by the end of the season. He doesn't look like that. He looks like he's just ready to go. You see how his spirit is so smiley and so bouncy and so enthusiastic. He is finding pure joy in the beautiful game, just like a soccer player, like Pele or somebody like that. They had a joy in just in the thrill of playing the game and doing it. Pascal is in that level right now. You see the joy, the vibe is flowing through him, and it's a pure love of basketball. And that is a beautiful thing to see, that he's in that zone and that you see he's so happy. That was a video I made at the beginning of the season. I made a Pascal spotlight video that said Pascal is home, he's happy, and NBA people need to shut the fuck up and realize that he is so happy here in Toronto and what he's doing, and that this is the place. Forget your trade speculation, talking about shipping him here, shipping him there. Pascal is at home. And that was when he went to that basketball court down near Spadina, near Chinatown, right near where I used to live in Kensington Park, in Kensington Market, where I used to go shoot around myself. I saw Pascal taking photo op at the court that I would shoot around at myself, the last place I lived. And that was like, he's home. He's happy here. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. And I love it. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I do. Monique saying, hope to head to a playoff game once I know more. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to try and go. You know, Monique, I think I got COVID from going to the Lowry game on Sunday. I have COVID this week. I tested positive yesterday. I started feeling it on Tuesday. And the only time I've been around a lot of people was at the Kyle Lowry Miami game on Sunday. So I got COVID from going to the Raptors game. So I don't think I'm going to the playoffs no matter what. I think I'm not only like for my wallet, I usually try to go to at least one playoff game. Like, listen, if I get over COVID in the next week and get through my quarantine and like we're in the second round or in the Eastern Conference Finals or something like that, maybe I'll show up and go to a game then. Like the year we won the championship, I kept saying, I'm going to go to a playoff game. And I was like, oh, wait, if we beat Philadelphia, I'll go to a Milwaukee game. If we beat Milwaukee, I'll go to a final game. And that's what I did. I ended up going to the game one of the finals against Golden State that playoff season. So I usually get to at least one playoff game, but we'll see. I don't think I'm going to go in the first round this time. So they're going to have to get out of the first round for me to get to a playoff game this season, because it's just because of my quarantine. Because I have COVID. I'm positive right now. I got a body ache right now. My back hurts so bad right now, guys. You may see me like rubbing my back a little bit. That's because it's like really hurting me right now. I'm playing hurt right now, y'all. I'm playing hurt just like OG plays with a broken finger. I'm playing hurt right now. So, oh man. Let's see. Scott B saying, being real in everything you do. Real recognizes real. I appreciate that, Scott B. That's part of it, man. And it doesn't just extend with like NBA stuff. We're talking about Ukraine. We're talking about society. We're talking about the media. We're talking about politics. I do the same thing. And we've gone on those tangents at different times in different ways. And that's part of what I love about this channel too, is it's like I can purely be Lex. I can be myself and the things that I love, whether it's the stuff I love about wrestling, the stuff I love about the Raptors, the stuff I love about music, the stuff I love about just talking about politics in the world and trying to make the world a better place by sharing information and talking about things. And then people are more educated themselves, and we share information and we become smarter and better as a society in general just by that. It's that kind of thing too. That's the way I look at it. And Paul's saying, I'm just here for the conversations about the Raptors. You don't mind the music stuff too, Paul. I know that. Ansem saying, I don't mind the 3-hour rants. Hey, listen, that's awesome. You guys make my YouTube stats super high. Like if I have 30 people in here watching me for 3 hours, you do the math. That's how many hours of YouTube viewing. My YouTube stats are off the charts, honestly. And especially since I do this every single day, it's like a lot. I just need to get the subscribers up, and then my stats will be awesome. Absolutely awesome. It's just the subscribers, the one stat I don't have really good yet. But yeah, 3 hours is good for me. I'll grab a coffee. Hey, listen. All right, I'm gonna try and wrap this up before 3 hours. Y'all are giving me a test now. I still got a couple things to do, like the mascot matchup. Scott B saying Siakam is the real MVP, and the crowd let him know last night. What a real and incredible moment. Yeah, sometimes I cringe when we yell MVP to some of our players, and I don't think they deserve it. But last night I did not. The way he was playing was an MVP level, and that he deserved it at that point when they were calling him MVP when he's at the line. Paul B saying, so is David Johnson a superstar next year? That's an interesting prospect. He has really shown signs of an all-around kind of scorer kind of guy and different things that he does. He's taller than he seems. Like he rebounds pretty good for a guy his height too. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with him. Like it may be another year of G League and mostly, but who knows? Maybe he gets more calls up. up, maybe he has more of a chance. Maybe we shuffle our roster around a little bit, and he has more of a chance going into training camp next year to get an actual rotation spot next year. Who knows? But yeah, he's an interesting, intriguing rookie for our year this year. He's kind of the guy we forget about, but he is actually a great project for us to have coming through. A Banana Bread 10 saying, yes, spot on insight. He's in that kind of zone. Yeah, he really is. Pascal, you see him before the game. He's vibing, he's moving, he's smiling real big. Him and Scotty have such a dynamic between them that's so fun. Like there's a lot of fun between them right now. It's even in the picture that I picked for this live stream this morning. You look at the way they're looking at each other from the game last night and how they're vibing off each other. And it may be that Scotty's youthful enthusiasm is vibing into Pascal and making him more loose and kind of casual about having fun and being open to it happening. And that may be in a way taking some of the pressure off of Pascal in some ways. Just have fun and be not afraid to fail, but be ready to succeed, because that's probably what you're going to do, because you're putting in the work and the time and the reps. And that's what I love about Pascal. He's really working hard, even though he has huge amount of money in his bank account. He's still working hard. And that's the kind of player you want to be your money man. They got to still be working out there. You don't want somebody like LeBron who's sitting against the Suns in a game that's really important for them to just stay in playoffs. That's fucked up that he did that. And now Adam Silver's talking about how superstar players shouldn't be sitting so many games. And that is a big issue in the NBA. It really is, because it's going more and more in that direction, especially during the COVID times. Kind of makes sense. But it has been more and more like, it seems like more and more Kawhi load management's happening everywhere. And that's not necessarily good for the NBA. It really isn't. Okay, let's keep going. Monique saying, I can go in the Raptors and I don't mind 3 hours, Lex. No worries. All right, you guys don't mind 3 hours. I really do want to cut it down and make it more concise, because I know there's some repetitiveness and different things like that, but it's just the nature of doing my channel as a live stream, interacting with you guys. It's just how it is. Paul B saying, do you ever wish Lowry had hit that 3 in the finals game 5? Could you imagine? Which final? Oh, in finals game 5. Oh, instead of it going to 6 and us winning it on our own court instead of winning it in Oakland. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to think about. But I think it was important for us to win it in Oakland in game 6. Like, it would have been way better that way than game 7 here, with the pressure of it being a game 7 at that point, even though it was a Father's Day and it was like Kawhi and Pascal playing for their dads, doing it for them. It would have been the kind of like setup for really big drama. And I was looking at that at that time. It's like, if this final series against Golden State goes to game 7, it'll be June the 16th will be game 7. I remember because that's my mother's birthday. And it's also Father's Day. And this is the thing. Our Raptors at that point, our 2 top guys, our Batman and Robin, Kawhi and Pascal, both had fathers that passed untimely, younger than they should have. And they're doing it for them. So you think these motherfuckers on a game 7 against Golden State on Father's Day were going to let their dads down and lose a game 7 in that situation? No, it was impossible. We were a team of destiny. We were going to win that series against Golden State no matter what. And I'm glad we won it in 6 in Oakland, although it would have been fun to win it on our own home court. But the pressure of a game 7 would have been a lot. And in some ways, that might have favored Golden State in some ways, just because of the way they would have set it up. So I'm really glad we took care of it in 6. But it would have been nice to win a championship on our home court in front of our own crowd. That would have been badass. And maybe the next one will happen that way. That would be really cool. Really, really cool. All right, let's see. Scott's saying, I'm with you, Anselm. Banana Bread Tans, I'm here for the rants too. Monique saying David Johnson, maybe he's been injured this year, but next year, I don't know. He has been injured a lot. He had COVID also. He has had different things, but his development's coming along and he's learning our system. He's happy. He looks like he's a really smart dude. Like, he understands his place and what's happening, and he understands that he can get somewhere trusting in our process and being with the 905 and stuff like that. So yeah, I have high hopes for David Johnson still. I think that he'll be something somewhere. Wait, why are we hype about David? I don't know. He's had a couple of game winners for the 905 this season where he's actually won the game in the last second, hitting a big shot. He's done different unsung things for that team at that level. It's really been Justin and Delano who's been scoring more, but then David will get like some key threes here and there. And then he's also done really well rebounding. He's a much better rebounder than I thought he was just from looking at his size and stuff like that. So he's a pretty good all around player. He's deceivingly taller than he looks and stuff like that. So Paul B saying the ending was so awkward and drawn out. I want a do-over where Messiah isn't harassed. Yeah, that whole thing was really ugly. And but it is also part of our history and it's an important part of it. And I'm just glad justice has been served since. That guy's frivolous lawsuit was thrown out and he's gotten in trouble, I'm sure. And he's just looked like a fucking racist piece of shit, that police officer in Oakland, for what he did to Masai Ujiri after we won the championship and stuff like that. So Paul B saying, I haven't watched any 905 really, so I was curious if he's becoming something to look out for. Yeah, he is. I mean, he's solid. He hasn't been like a super dominant scorer at times, but he has had big games where he scored a lot and done different things. They're all kind of picked and choose their different spots. Like Isaac Bongo will have a huge game. Reggie Perry will have a huge game. Champagny, Delano, when he's there, he has a huge game, stuff like that. Last night, it was really Justin. Justin was the big guy with the 29 points, and then Delano had 21. And Delano was absolutely killing Capital City Go-Go in the overtime last time. He was the one carrying the Raptors offensively to the win in that one and done playoff game last night, Delano. And that really is good for his development and confidence. And then, like I said, Isaac Bonga defensively last night was fantastic to help us make sure we won. And a lot of people are talking about the difference in the game for 905 versus Capital City Go-Go was that we are a more defensive team, that we have a Raptors kind of defense like the main roster team that we can turn on and shut other teams down. And that's going to be a strength for us to hopefully win the G League championship. Sunday's the next game. Sunday night, Eastern Conference Finals of the G League. Raptors 905. I'm not sure who they're playing yet. I don't remember. But yeah. Scott B saying, I agree, Paul. They ruined it for him and he deserves so much better. Yeah, the thing with Masai, it is what it is. That just means he needs to go get a second one and have his moment correctly. And hopefully, like I said, here in Toronto on our home court, we could win a championship the next time. That'd be badass. Okay, yeah. David has Fred Van Vliet vibes. To me, his vibes are more like Norman Powell kind of vibes, like a 3-and-D kind of slasher. He can rebound pretty good. But he's a 3-point shooter. He's not necessarily a point guard. He's more of a scorer. To me, he reminds me more of Norman Powell, that kind of player, than Fred Van Vliet. Rank Scrub saying, I like the Jordan Hall kid for next year's draft. 6'8", shifty, strange player that may need more work in the weight room to improve dramatically. Hall is the kid on, I think he's on 905, right? There's so many different young players on 905 and different things. Like when we got this new guy, Gilmore, too. Paul B saying, Josh Lumenberg tweeted 12 minutes ago, Achua's listed as questionable left knee contusion. Okay, yeah, this is just rest management. This is load management. If Achua's out tonight, that's fine. I'm okay with that. We, at least as long as we have Scotty Barnes and most of the bench guys, we'll be fine. We'll beat Houston tonight. I actually kind of like the idea of resting Precious tonight. There's no problem with that. Yeah, thanks for the update, Paul B. Because he probably, I wouldn't have seen that because I've been on here for 2:45 and now, he said that 12 minutes ago. That's the update. We got an update. Banana Bread Tan saying, haha, I thought I was the only one who was scouring the scouting reports for 6'9" athletic guys. Well, we have a template. We want to keep looking for who's the next one coming up. Isaac Bonga is probably one of them. All right, let me do the last couple of things that we do for the preview. Let's do the real mascot matchup. Tom Duke, real mascot matchup. The last time we saw the Raptor, he's at the Waffle House with Benjamin Franklin cosplayer, 76er Ben Franklin, sitting there enjoying a stack of waffles with the guy. And I'll tell you what, last night, the stack of waffles that the Raptor had was a little bit higher than the Philadelphia 76ers Ben Franklin stack of waffles. And they decided, let's have an eating contest. And the Raptor absolutely destroyed him in a waffle eating contest at the Waffle House that night. Yeah, Ben Franklin, you lose. You going down. You got beat by the Raptor in a waffle eating contest last night. It was fantastic. But Ben Franklin's like, you know what? You seem like a cool dude, Raptor. And the Raptor's like, He's thinking inside his head, the Raptors thinking, you know what, I want to keep this Ben Franklin guy around a little bit because he seems like somebody I could really take advantage of. Somebody that I can really like maybe have some more competitions with and like dominate him in some ways. So maybe I'm gonna hang out with this dude and like ride around with him for a couple weeks. So it's like, yeah, Ben Franklin, whatever you want to do next, let's go. And like Ben Franklin's like, all right, let's go to I have a fireworks show I'm going to. I'm very patriotic, being a cosplayer of Ben Franklin. I'm just some nerd guy from Philadelphia that likes dressing up like Ben Franklin. But I like doing this kind of stuff. Let's go to a bicentennial or some sort of like celebration. They're putting off fireworks. Oh, okay. The Raptors like, all right. So they go to this like field and they're doing like a celebration, very patriotic, lots of red, white, and blue. There's some other people cosplaying. There's like a Paul Revere over there. There's a George Washington over there. There's just a bunch of cosplayers. And that's why Ben Franklin's there, because he's cosplaying too. And they're setting off fireworks. And there's actually some fireworks that the Raptor in the Ben Franklin can use and play with. And they Ben Franklin's going, how I invented electricity was with a kite and a key. And he's like talking all this shit. And the Raptor's like, whatever. He's kind of like a friend, but he's a frenemy. He's like, yeah, I'm hanging out with you, but I kind of don't like you. You're kind of full of shit. And then all of a sudden, Ben Franklin thinks he's being funny. He takes a bottle rocket and he aims it at the Raptor. He lights it and he's like, and he shoots a bottle rocket right at the Raptor and it blows up right next to him. He startles him. The Raptor's like, oh no, motherfucker, what did you just do? Bottle rocket war? It's on, Ben Franklin. So he takes like a whole package of bottle rockets. If you've ever done this, I know some kids, you do this when you're a kid and you're experimenting with fireworks, you do crazy shit. Like you light the whole box of black snakes on, you see them all come out like, you light a whole thing of sparklers and you have like a sparkler flame of a box. Well, he lit a whole thing of bottle rockets and put it right at Ben Franklin's face. Yeah, he shot those rockets right in his face and went right in Ben Franklin's face. Is so funny. So they're having a fireworks war now between Ben Franklin cosplayer and the real Raptor mascot. And who's going to win the fireworks war? The bottle rocket war. Because this is the thing. These rockets, they ain't a full-size rocket at this point. They're just a little piddly bottle rocket at this point. And we need to kick the shit out of them tonight. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We need to kick the shit out of rockets. Houston, you're going to have a problem, and it ain't going to have nothing to do with our A team. We're going to beat you with our B team tonight. Oh, yeah. That's what's going down tonight. That's how I'm feeling it. Oh, yeah. There's your real mascot matchup. We'll see who wins the bottle rocket war between fake-ass Ben Franklin and the real Raptor mascot. Oh yeah, we'll see who wins that one. It's gonna be fun. Oh yeah. All right, let's see. Banana Bread Tan said Norman Powell vibes is fire. Yeah, I don't know if he'll have the same kind of defensive, like he doesn't have the same kind of arms and length with like his hands, the way that Norm steals, but maybe. At least his offensive game to me looks like Norman's game. It's a little bit of like three and then slash. Three and slash. That's kind of what David Johnson's been showing so far this season. So that's what I'm seeing is more like a Norm vibe. Paul B saying Fred's 15-0 run, 20 points in 4 minutes versus Utah. Paul just keeps listing great moments from this season with the Raptors. And you know what? You save this because maybe we'll do a season in review and Paul can remind us of everything that's been going on. That'd be fantastic, Paul. I love that. Paul's also saying Norm was amazing. A reunion one day could be nice. Norman deserves the return that Danny Green and Kyle Lowry got this week also. He definitely does. And when he came back earlier this season, it wasn't like exactly right because we didn't have people in the building and stuff like that. So he didn't even show up. And they didn't do anything for him because they did it for Serge and it backfired and it looked stupid. And so Norman will get this kudos in the right way and the good send-off that Kyle got also because he's just like him. We traded him last season and we did not get to say goodbye to Norman Powell either. And that's why we need to have the same kind of warm reception and welcome back to Norman when he comes back with the Clippers next year or whoever he's on next season. Yeah. Dan's here. Dan Gallia. Good to see Dan. Go check out Dan and his website. He's a comedian. He's always writing good stuff. He's doing stand up around Toronto all the time. Good to see Dan's name here again. Considering what the Raptors have been doing to like every team, do you think people are underestimating the team? Yeah, yeah, as usual. It's like, what is this? Is vanilla ice cream vanilla flavored? Yeah. Is the sky blue? Yeah. Are people underestimating the Raptors? Yeah. That's just how it goes. That's just a normal thing. It wouldn't be a regular NBA season if we didn't hear all this bullshit talking us down at the beginning of the season just to motivate us and see, like Chris Boucher said in an interview this week. He's like, every single season I've been in Toronto, they put us down lower than where we think we are. And we have something to prove. And they did it once again this season. I think you're exactly right, Dan, that like in some ways as Raptor fans, we discount ourselves because we're unsure. Part of it is the gaslighting of the US media and the media in general about the Raptors, but also it's just like from years and years of not being totally sure as Toronto sports fans, whether it was parts of the Maple Leaf stuff that's happened, the Blue Jays stuff that's happened, that Toronto sports fans can't be totally sure in some points, and they're kind of unsure of things. But this is the thing. We're changing that culture with the Raptors fan culture because we should be sure. Because all points signs say to yes. You turn that magic 8 ball around and says all signs point to yes, we are a badass team, and that these teams are underestimating us, and that we should be more sure of ourselves as fans in rooting this team, that we believe that they are going to overachieve, that they are going to win in the first round, that they do have a playoff run, that nobody is understanding yet, that we may be because we see them night in and night out and understand who they are. And I love that. It's like a shark attack. They don't know what's coming at them from under the water. It's going to come up and bite the shit out of their boat before they know what to do. They can do anything about it. So I love this kind of factor about us being a stealth bomber. Our team is like a stealth bomber. They don't know where we're coming and how we're coming and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely an underestimation, Dan, for sure. Let's see what else you're saying. Like, why won't even Raps fans give us a chance to win it all? Is it an abundance of precaution because we're such a young team, or because other teams are just that much better in people's eyes? I think it's a combination of what you're saying there, what I was just saying about how the media treats us. It makes us conditioned, and people parrot what people on ESPN in the States say. Raptor fans say, they hear the US media say things and they're like, oh, the US media should know more. But they don't, because they don't pay attention to us. They're not watching us unless they have to, because their specific team that they cover is and then they watch us. They're not watching us otherwise. So they're not educated in a basis for making their opinions on this. And yes, there's many years of conditioning as a Toronto sports fan to be disappointed and not to get too sure of yourself. That the Leafs losing in the first round so often, the things that happen to our sports team where there's collapses in postseasons, that we are very kind of ginger and like not so sure about things because of that. But that's what I'm saying. We need to make a line right here and say, this is Leaf Nation, how they deal with it. This is how Blue Jays Nation deals with it. And this is how Raptors Nation deals with it. And that confidence and that belief in our team is not stupid or crazy. That we can get on good, even strong footing and say, I believe in the Raptors. And I think that they're going to do way better than people think. And I think that is a lot of those kind of forces at work, whether it's the media gaslighting or putting us down for many years. So we're conditioned to be down on our team, or just in general, the Toronto sports fan doesn't believe in their team's chances in postseason because of the Leafs and the Leaf things that have happened. And even the Blue Jays to an extent. The Blue Jays get to a certain point and then there's a collapse and nothing happens and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of those forces in it. Dan's saying also, forgive me if you've covered this, just showing up now. No problem at all. Even if I've covered it already, I'll repeat stuff, but I'll always try and add just another little grain of information or a little granular, or a little slant to it on top of it. So it's not absolutely just a duplication of something I said earlier. But no, we didn't talk about this yet. So you're good, Dan. Don't worry. Monique saying Justin Champagne is more the eye opener for me. Oh, well, obviously. I mean, he's the guy who's like done some crazy stuff, like with his offensive rebounding on the main team. Earlier in the season, he was bad badass. And then he got in the fight with PJ Washington and the Charlotte Hornets. And then he kind of got exiled to the 905 team after that. And he's been really more on their squad and doing things like that. But this is the way it should be. He got that 40 piece recently for the 905. He had 29 points last night in the playoff game. He is getting a lot of eyes on it. I just wanted to give a little shine to David Johnson just because we haven't talked about him that much this season and his prospects possibly after his rookie season for the Raptors next year. So it'll be very interesting. But yeah, definitely Justin is a big time thing, and he's going to be somebody that we're going to really work with, and hopefully he becomes a good rotation player for us in the years to come. We'll see. Scott B saying, "We are the fans, Dan. We fully expect to win it all. No pressure on us. We can easily walk to the title." I don't know if it's easily going to be walking, Scott B, but we'll at least give it as good a shot as we can, as much as we can to also. But yeah, I like us being more confident. And the confidence for Raptors fan nation has to be shown in the crowd at the games. That as our conditioning of not being so sure and unconfident, the thing I was just talking about, Toronto sports fan syndrome, we can't bring that to our playoff games. We can't bring that to our regular season games, because what happens is if we're not confident and the team's going through a hard part, like Matt Devlin says, the Raptors haven't scored for the last 5 minutes, whatever. They're going through those periods of time, and the fans are kind of chicken littling in the crowd. They're like, "Oh no, not this again." And they're like, "Oh no, disaster." It really can snowball into the wrong direction. So that's why I really challenge every single Raptor fan, if you're going to games or just in general in your life, have a real confidence in your team, that you trust in Masai truly, that you trust in this team to be a winner inside out all the time, every year. And that the evidence has been there for the last decade. And that we really need to just start embracing it and being that kind of fan base, that we have a swagger and a confidence about our team, and that we believe that they're gonna win. That's how we got to be. That's how we should act. Because the less we have moments in the building where the air gets sucked out and everybody's like, "Oh no," that kind of stuff. We know we can't do that. We have to have confidence even when our guys don't have confidence on the court, because we may even reinforce and get them back on track easier by showing any confidence in them that they don't see themselves and stuff like that. So it's that kind of thing. But yeah, yes, Scott's saying Justin's one of our hidden gems. Banana Bread 10, what is it about Justin for you? Why is he more of an eye opener? To me, it's really his work on the offensive boards. Like, that is really like his one trick pony kind of thing that he showed. Although he does have a 3-point shot also, it's really his work on the boards, have being that little dog in the fight, like especially earlier this season in regular season games in the NBA. He was doing some offensive rebounding that was absolutely fantastic. And that's the kind of thing that really impresses me about him. But we can't discount him as a scorer also, that he's shown in the 905 this season that he can take over and be the leading scorer for that team, like getting a 40-point game. He got 29 last night in a very important game. It's that kind of stuff that I'm saying. But it also, he's undersized in some ways at his height. In some ways, that may hurt him long term for his NBA career. But if he has a really good fight in him and he's going to be balling out and just trying really hard all the time, yeah, he's going to find a spot and he'll be in the rotation somewhere. But yeah, that's really more why he's an eye opener and stuff like that. Dan's saying, I just feel like our team's makeup gives us a chance to win every game. This is totally true. Listen, like they were saying this week, Jack Armstrong is saying there's certain teams that rely on certain strengths behind their team that really are predicated on being at home or feeling good, like shooting well or having your offense going good. That's not what we rely on. That's not our bread and butter. We've had many games this season where we have shot horribly and still won. And that's really because our bread and butter is the defense, the hard work, the rebounding, the all out hustling and playing all over the place, the rotations on our defense and everything like that. And this is the whole thing too, like going into the playoffs, if we're going to be a team that's not going to have a home court advantage, our strengths are going to work really well on the road or at home. It doesn't matter. So they translate to wherever we go. And that's part of the reason why we're so dangerous and badass. And part of the reason why we've been such a good road team this season is that our strengths translate so good into any environment. And that is really why, yeah, you're talking about our team's makeup. That's for sure. That's for real. That our makeup gives us a fight in any game against any team. And we saw it, and whether it's that 5-game win streak on the road out west, when he's beating Milwaukee after losing to Detroit. Is, the games that we've overachieved and won, we've won because of those strengths. And the fact that, as Nick Nurse puts it, we can line up where we can look face to face with any team at all five positions. And in fact, in a lot of cases, we're above and taller than a lot of teams at some of those lower positions. Like, they're playing small guards and we're playing positionless, and we're looking right over their head and stuff like that. So it's stuff like that. Monique saying Masai and Bobby over everything. Yes, yes, I'm here for that for sure, Monique. Scott B saying toughness, relentless rebounder who can shoot the three. Yeah, that's Justin Champagny right there. Toughness, relentless rebounder. He's working hard. Like, he wants to work harder than anybody else. And that's a big part of what his success is. He's going to outwork you. All right, Dan saying, I hope you're feeling better. I appreciate that, Dan. Yeah, I got COVID, man, and it sucks. It sucks. I'm feeling it. Oh, yeah. Scott B saying, I feel we can beat anybody. Dan, thanks for the compliment. I will continue to try and keep up the good work. I'm playing sick right now. I'm working sick. That's what I'm doing. But Amber Tan saying that, Dan, I agree. I love the way we use Siakam. Is just me, or do we use him to probe their defense and create chaos? He definitely creates chaos. He definitely creates good things. And he's such a linchpin and a starter for our whole important part of what we're doing with our offense. But absolutely not absolutely essential. But thank you for being there and doing what you're doing, Pascal. Paul B saying, remember Dragic getting booed every time he touched the ball? I was at that game, Paul. That was a fantastic game. It was awesome. Paul, you're just going down memory lane. He's just throwing up different random Raptor memories from this season right now. It's awesome. Remember Scotty's step back three at Nets to tie the game with a minute? Yes, Paul. Oh my gosh, Paul. You're bringing us down the stroll. You might be like, this is your life, Mick Foley and The Rock or something like that. It was what's going on right now here or something. I don't know. Oh, it's so good. Paul B saying, remember OG's 36-point career night at MSG and Van Vliet's big ball celebration field? Yes, so many good. Paul, you got to save this for when we do the year in review. I might need you to be the co-host to remind me of all this. That OG game in MSG was fantastic. That was near the beginning of the season. And then, yes, Fred Van Vliet's big ball dance that he got fined for. There's so many great memories from this season that are going to be badass to reflect on. But we don't want to reflect until we're absolutely done. And I don't want to be done until we got that second Larry O.B., because that's what we are looking for right now. Oh, yeah. Monique's saying our team is overachieving. Now everyone is watching. It's just that simple. Yes, yes, Monique, for sure. They have to watch. We made them have to watch. We forced them to watch. We didn't hold a gun to their heads. We just did so good. They could not deny or ignore what we're doing. Oh, yeah. DJ saying Siakam is like the bishop in chess. First, he mastered the forward corners. Now he has mastered the back corners. Like Mr. Miyagi would say, no can defend. I like that comparison that he's the bishop. But in some ways, isn't he just a queen? I mean, I'm just saying the queen's the most powerful piece on the chessboard, and they can move every direction. They can do what the bishop does. I'm just saying the way he plays and the way he's so dominant right now, he might be the queen on a chessboard right now. That's what I'm saying. Paul B saying, remember All-Star Van Vliet nailing the most incredible threes, the single season Raptors franchise record? Yes, Paul, yes. Yes, you are overloading me with so much from the memories, so much good stuff. DJ saying Van Vliet is another Jedi. I was so impressed with the Raptors last night for resting both he and OG, a real family. Yeah, Fred was such a dad on the bench last night with his sweater and just his facial expressions, his love, his happiness, seeing different things like Precious is trying to dunk and stuff like that. People were like, whoa, between him and Drake, it was like we were seeing double with these black long sleeve guys like jumping around on both sides of Nick Nurse last night. It was hilarious. So good. And I'm glad that Drake was actually paying attention to the game and not just on his phone last night like he did the last time he came. Monique saying Julian Champagny is declaring for the NBA draft. He announced it on IG. Okay, let's see if we get some twin power. Wonder Twin power activate. But also, there's also that AJ kid, Adrian Griffin Jr. is going to be coming into the draft. And I know he's going to be a lottery pick. It's probably not going to be likely the Raptors can get AJ, but that'd be really cool to have a father-son connection on the team him with Adrian Griffin Jr. all of a sudden on the Raptors next season. That if that can be worked out where we get our draft pick ends up being AJ, hey, that'd be awesome. But I think he's projected too high, and that it's probably not likely that we'll be able to get him. Banana Bread 10 said, I love how our team seems to enjoy going to others' houses. Like we're used to being on the road because of last year. Yeah, we're a better road team in some ways than a home team. Give us a no home court in the playoffs. Fuck around, we'll still win. Watch, yeah, we do better on the road in some ways. But it is going to be really important. That they say that playoff series don't start until one team beats another team on their home court. Well, let's do that for game one. Let's go do that. If it's Philadelphia, so be it. Let's go to Philadelphia, win game one, and say this playoff series is starting right now. And y'all are in trouble. We're going to win both these games in Philadelphia and then sweep y'all 2 games in Toronto also. That would be fantastic. I would love that so much. Let's do it. Let's do it, Raptors. Road Warriors, ultimate Road Warriors. And in particular, Philadelphia is a great place for us to play. We won both our games we played in Philadelphia in the regular season this year. We will beat them. Oh, yeah. Okay, DJ's agreeing with me. I just don't want to slight Pascal right that. He is a queen if he's on a chessboard. I mean, the bishop is very powerful, but the queen is the most powerful piece. And that's why I'm saying it that way. Paul B saying precious 75-foot bucket that didn't count. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he's even given us the recap and memories of things that didn't officially happen. That shot that passed, the Precious made 3/4 of court that was too late after the buzzer, but it went right through the net. It was badass. Isla Flop saying, how did you feel when you heard the crowd chanted MVP for Pascal? I thought it was fine at that time. There's been times we've chanted MVP at different Raptors in recent years, and I've cringed because I'm like, that doesn't really fit, and don't do that. And I've seen them miss free throws after, like, why are they chanting MVP? And then they missed the free throw or something like that. No, I think it was warranted last night, and they didn't do it right away. They did it later in the game after he was showing such a masterful performance, the triple-double performance of last night. So I had no problem with it. Scott B saying, no matter what the Raptors do from this point forward, it's just a bonus for us. They've already way outdone what the experts said, but not with what us true fans said. Yeah, that's the thing. It's all gravy. It's like people were saying earlier that we're playing with house money at this point. I think Duke was the one who said that. We're playing with house money. We're already way above where we're supposed to be, and it's just going to be more and more overachieving. And I really fully expect, to me personally, getting out of the first round will mean a success. We have to at least win one playoff series. I don't want to go out in the first round. So I want to win at least one playoff series, and then we'll take it from there. If at that point I'm feeling like, well, we need to win this one too. That's the kind of thing I'm putting the benchmark a little bit higher as we go. As we overachieve and get to this point, okay, we got out of the play-in. We're in the playoffs now. All right, well, let's go for fourth and try and get home court. Well, let's win the first round and just keep setting the bar a little bit higher as we continue to overachieve the season. And let's see where we end up. I mean, who knows? It's crazy. Crazy things happen in the NBA season. The playoffs are hard to do. And we have an advantage in the playoffs in a bunch of different ways that people aren't talking about. And one of them is that our guys have been there and they've done it and they know what they're doing to get there to it. And that's part of it right there. Okay, let's keep going. Paul B saying Delano Banton first bucket was a half-court buzzer beater. Yes, so many great highlights. I mean, Paul, you're really going to have to be there when we do the year in review. I might just need to copy and paste this whole conversation that you've had today, and just these are all the things he's just showing us. That speed block on Duncan Robinson might be one of my top moments. How about that Yuta block that he had on? I forget who it was, but Yuta got a block, and he had a couple blocks, and then he also had that great dunk where he posterized somebody too. Okay, my voice is shot. We're over 3 hours. I've done the ref report. I've done the real mascot matchup. Keys to victory. Basically, just win. Beat the Rockets. Who the fuck are the Rockets? Come on. You gotta just beat the Rockets. I don't care who's resting or nothing. Whoever shows up for the Raptors in a Raptor jersey tonight needs to have some pride and beat the shit out of the Houston Rockets. We do not need to lose to a slouch at this point. We win these last 2 games, we get 49 victories for the season, and that's badass. That means we won 9 out of our last 10 games, and that we almost got 50 wins in a season where the experts predicted we'd only get 35 wins this season. So fuck them. Fuck the NBA. Fuck the experts. We're fucking doing the way we want to, and we're going to go fucking get what we want. But we need to take care of business and just beat Houston tonight. Oh, yeah. All right, Monique saying Pascal brothers probably laughing at all the old haters. That's another memory from this season that I want to talk about. Very early in the season, one of the first games I went to was I think it was a preseason game with Stevie Roots. We went to the Houston Rockets. In fact, it was the Houston Rockets preseason game. And when we came into the building, I saw a few people when we were coming in the building. First person I saw was Will Liu. I said, Will Liu, you hit the big time, because he got in his radio show. He's on Sportsnet all of a sudden. I high-fived him. I said, Will Liu, you hit the big time, baby. And I gave him a high five. I was proud of him. And then when we were coming around the corner, I saw Chris Boucher at the elevator, the one that goes up to the practice court, and like the one that the players use to get from downstairs up. And he was standing waiting, and I just yelled. I didn't go over to him or anything. I just said, Chris Boucher! And I waved to him, and he waved back to me. And I was like, yes, this is the kind of thing I love for good vibes starting the season. Chris and I vibing. He saw me. I said, what up? And then after the game, when we won, we beat Houston, I was leaving with Stevie Roots, and we bumped into two really big gentlemen wearing the PS logo hats. And I recognized them as Christian and Pascal's other brother, his two brothers there. And I was walking behind them, and I said to Christian, and this is exactly what I said to him. I said, Siakam brothers, big ups. I'm really looking forward to your brother getting back from his injury. We all believe in him. I know he's going to come back, and he's going to be bigger and better than ever. Raptors fans, support your brother, and we love him, and we can't wait for him to come back. And Christian said to me, oh man, thanks for the good words. I'm going to tell Pascal this. You said that. Basically is kind of what he said to me. And I was like, I meant it in that moment. I said, I know that Pascal Siakam's working his ass off, that he's had disappointment and felt defeat from the bubble and what happened in the bubble series against Boston, that he's heard all the tarnishing and the fucked up things that people written about him and said things to him about that. And I wanted to say to his family members that say, we believe in him, and we know when he comes back, he's going to be better than ever. And boy, was I right, because he is better than ever, and he is showing that slant and that growth that is just going to continue to go up and up and up and up and up and up. This guy's not done getting better. He's going to fine-tune this just like DeMar did, and he's going to get better and better, and he's younger than DeMar and better than DeMar at his age right now. It's like he's 27, and you look at DeMar at 27, he wasn't like him at this point. He's ahead of him. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And that's right. I'm glad you brought up the Pascal Siakam's brothers. And yeah, that made me think of that memory of that the beginning of the season and running into Christian and his brothers and saying that to them. Anyway, guys, I'm at 311 right now, and my voice and my back hurt right now. Oh man, but it's worth it, man. This is the kind of feeling where it's like, yeah, I just left it all on the court and we won, baby. It feels so good, even though my body hurts. So I need to go recoup. And hopefully we have a great game tonight. Beat the shit out of Houston. We can't slouch and lose this game for some stupid reason. There's no reason for that tonight. Scotty Barnes, you're playing tonight. You're playing against Jalen Green. Nail that rookie of the year conversation down, that you are the rookie of the year, and give them more proof in the pudding by what you put on the court tonight, Scotty Barnes. Oh, yeah. Let's go Raptors. Let's go, Monique. Check out Monique, and the Google Pixel commercial is coming out all over the place. And thank you, everybody, once again. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button. I'm getting more and more. I had a huge boon of more subscriptions this week from help from people like Jubstown Clink and other people promoting me in other places. I really appreciate it. You guys are really helping me out. And thanks again for sticking with me and enjoying my 3-hour rants, as you put it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys, let's go. Let's beat the Rockets tomorrow. Reaction to hopefully a great, fantastic 48 win of the season for the Raptors. 48 wins that they didn't think that we'd get. We getting them. Oh, yeah. Scott B. saying, we didn't come this far. We didn't come this far. We are keep going. We are going to keep going. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Paul. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be drinking a lot of fluids, vitamin C, making sure I'm giving health to my body to fight it. And hopefully I can just beat the last stages of it off out of my body finally today and tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be back. All right, guys, appreciate it. Banana Bread Tan saying, what do you think Pascal will be adding to his game? I think right now is focusing on his passing in the post. What I think he's going to do is he's going to get even more and more with his decision making. that it's going to be like he's going to get even more in tune with what he needs to do in the split second, whether it's passing out of the double or maybe even how he reads defenses and picks them apart. That there's a difference between how he's picking apart teams in recent weeks than even at the beginning of the season. And that is part of where he's increasing things, is that he's becoming more lethal and vicious and like no mercy. No mercy is that he's seeing the openings and he's just taking them apart. And then he'll see it more and more and he'll get better at it. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. All right, guys. Yeah, his passing is definitely a big part of it. All right, guys. Let's go Raptors Nation. Go Raptor Freak cult. Thank you again for being here. You guys really bring my spirits up. Now I got to go lay down for an hour. I'm hurting, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Let's go.